This may be one of the clearest and most intriguing pieces of potential Bigfoot footage to date. Do you think it's the real deal, or just an elaborate hoax? This next clip takes us deep into Medak Mountain State Park, just outside Littleton, North Carolina, a place often whispered about among cryptid enthusiasts for its history of alleged Bigfoot sightings. The town of Littleton even has its own Bigfoot museum, dedicated to local legends and eyewitness accounts. But what was captured in this clip has stirred up even more curiosity. A motion-activated trail camera, left running in the park for several days, had mostly been catching the usual wildlife. That is, until August of last year, when things took a wild turn. The camera was triggered by something unexpected. A tall humanoid figure casually walking through the frame. Not once, but twice. What's eerie is how relaxed the figure looks, almost like it had no clue it was being watched. But here's the downside. Condensation on the lens blurred the image, making it tough to make out clear details. Still, if you look closely, the outline is there. Tall frame, strange stride. Many believe it could be Bigfoot. Skeptics, of course, have their theories. Maybe it was just a hiker or camper caught at a weird angle. But yeah, the fogged up lens definitely complicates things. It's far from a crystal clear shot. So that brings us to the big question. What do you think? Is this yet another sighting from a known Bigfoot hotspot? Or just a person unknowingly passing through? The debate is still going, but I think you know where I stand. Here's another encounter, this time from a hunter who claims to have seen Bigfoot deep in the forest. According to his account, he was about 2 miles into the woods, quietly sitting in an elk blind when he heard something rustling nearby. At first, he thought it might be another hunter and decided to check it out, but what he saw completely caught him off guard. A dark, hairy figure lurking in the brush. Startled, he quickly returned to camp, unwilling to risk a confrontation with what could be a dangerous creature. Later, he uploaded the footage. Upon closer examination, viewers noticed a massive, shadowy figure with thick, dark fur. Only the head and upper body are clearly visible, but its size and appearance are enough to unsettle anyone. What's particularly eerie is how calm the creature seems. It appears distracted or unaware of the hunter's presence. While hunters are trained to stay alert for both prey and potential threats, Bigfoot usually isn't on their radar. Maybe, as this sighting suggests, it should be. When it comes to blending into their surroundings, chameleons are often hailed as the ultimate masters of camouflage. But what if Bigfoot possessed a similar skill and didn't want to be seen? Watch this video. Did you catch it? Or rather, can you see it? At first glance, it probably looked like you were simply staring at a cluster of trees and bark. But what if I told you a Bigfoot is hidden there? Take another look at the zoomed in footage. Did you notice the face this time? If you missed it earlier, it's because this elusive creature was doing everything it could to remain concealed. It's chilling how seamlessly it merges with the environment, almost becoming part of the landscape itself. The only reason the person behind the camera spotted it at all was because they already suspected it was there and went searching. Otherwise, it might have remained undetected. Which begs the question, how many of these beings might be living among us, hiding in plain sight? The answer might be more than we dare to imagine. In another strange case, a professional wedding photographer captured what might be a Bigfoot on camera in Litchfield County, Connecticut. The video was taken using the DSLR's video function and later uploaded to YouTube by a channel called Connecticut Bigfoot, which shared this statement. "We heard something near the trash cans and assumed it was a bear. So we stayed inside and recorded through the window. By the time we got the camera out, the figure had already crossed the road and moved into a nearby field."
Where is he?
He's coming on. He's there. He's gonna pop up in a minute. There he is, popping up. Look for berries. Lots of berries.
One light. Yes, the light. Well, the dog was after.
Let's see him.
He's over here now.
Oh shit, he went too fast. I didn't catch him this time.
They had no idea that this brief footage would go viral, racking up nearly 200,000 views and sparking widespread controversy. What makes the video so captivating is the way the creature moves. quickly and with exaggerated arm swings that caught the attention of many viewers. It's rare to see a person move like that, which added to the speculation. While some commenters believe the sighting is legitimate, others are convinced it's a hoax. Either way, it's a clip that's definitely worth discussing. What do you think? Is it real, or just another well-crafted illusion? A trail cam set up in the woods of Ohio in October 2023 seems to have captured a large dark petal creature. Here it is. This next image might just capture a Bigfoot, or possibly a Yeti, from an unexpected angle. Gaining attention in early 2024, the photo was reportedly taken by a military drone during a border surveillance mission over the rugged wilderness of Big Bend National Park in Texas. The drone, equipped with a thermal imaging camera, picked up a strange heat signature resembling a large humanoid figure. According to the uploader, the image was later examined as part of an intelligence gathering operation and even appeared on a classified mystery board due to the lack of a clear explanation. What makes the sighting especially compelling is the location, deep within the park, far from any marked trails, campsites, or signs of human activity. Annotations on the image describe the figure as having thick white fur, with a hairless face, head, hands, and feet. Interestingly, Big Bend has a long history of eerie folklore, including tales of ghostly encounters and Sasquatch sightings. Local legends even tell of a mysterious white-furred Sasquatch said to inhabit the area. Could this thermal image be proof of the elusive white Bigfoot, or even a Yeti? It's certainly possible. She spotted what appeared to be a little squatch observing a group of hunters she'd just encountered. After the hunters moved on, the creature stayed behind, now watching her instead. The person recounts the experience with a sense of disbelief, explaining how they were out walking their dogs in a familiar area. Throughout the walk, the dogs kept focusing their attention in one direction, but she saw nothing unusual at the time. It wasn't until she reviewed the footage later during editing that she noticed something extraordinary, a small figure lingering in the distance, watching the hunters. What shocked her even more was realizing that after the hunters left, the figure remained, quietly observing her and the dogs. Completely unaware in the moment, she now understands she had been unknowingly watching this mysterious being as it watched her. With awe, she encourages others to check out the footage themselves, still amazed by what she captured.
Ma'am, I'm not seeing what you see. Woo! They're both looking. I don't see anything. What was that? I just heard a fucking stick. Stop.
After hunting to his heart's content and receiving his prize, the deer's head decided to watch the footage at his leisure. He thought he could capture the wildlife in all its glory, but after watching the video, he was completely shocked. This is a fragment from the full video. Let's see. We can see a black hairy figure sitting behind a tree with its back to the camera. At first we can say that it is a bear, but after a couple of seconds it gets up, and now we can see that this creature is bipedal. You can also pay attention to the building that is located directly in front of the camera. According to the author, there was no such structure during the installation of the camera. Bigfoots probably lead a nomadic lifestyle. They constantly move around, avoiding people, following food sources and remaining unnoticed. Temporary shelters made of branches correspond to this type of migration behavior. They assemble quickly, disguise themselves well, and leave virtually no trace when dropped. Rough structures made of twigs can provide minimal protection from wind, rain, or snow, especially in dense forest conditions. This next encounter might be one of the most unsettling alleged Bigfoot videos out there. The clip, recorded on July 5th, 2024, captures a man completely alone in a dense forest on a frigid winter night.
There's something screaming down there. I don't know what this is, man. Something fucking screaming down there, man. Hello? Where are you? Show yourself right now!
Out of nowhere, bone-chilling screams echo through the darkness, loud, threatening, and unlike anything the man has ever heard. Clearly shaken, he calls out, and to his shock, something seems to respond. Could he have been communicating with a Bigfoot? If so, he may have narrowly escaped a dangerous situation, as the creature sounded extremely close and very angry.
Show yourself right now!
The terrifying howls continue, each one louder and more menacing than the last. Before the video abruptly ends, it is reported that the man fled in panic, running for his life through the snow-covered woods. While the video offers no visual confirmation, only haunting audio, it's fueled intense speculation. Many argue that the sounds don't match those of any known animal, including bears or mountain lions. Some suggest it may not have been Bigfoot at all, but another cryptid entirely, perhaps a dogman, or even the rake. Dogmen are said to be large, bipedal beasts with canine features, known for their eerie, wolf-like howls. The rake, on the other hand, is described as a pale, humanoid creature with a disturbing presence and aggressive nature. Whatever it was, the warning is clear. If you ever hear screams like that in the forest, run fast and don't look back. Let's take a look at a brand new Bigfoot photo that just surfaced. It was posted to Instagram on March 2nd, 2025. The caption reads, "An anonymous source claims they found an old camera deep in the woods near Portland, Oregon. When the film was developed, this black and white image appeared, showing what looks like a Bigfoot-like creature. Upon zooming in, one of the most striking features experts have pointed out is the creature's face. Many people are saying the face looks far too realistic to be a costume of any kind. Just look at it. Its mouth is slightly open, with a large protruding nose and a prominent brow ridge. The face almost looks like a blend between a human and a monkey, which matches typical descriptions of Sasquatch sightings. Beyond the face, the creature has a wide, powerful frame, broad shoulders, a pronounced chest, and strong, sturdy legs. Curious about the location? I decided to dig into Oregon's Bigfoot history and found some pretty interesting stuff. Back in the 1960s and 70s, with the surge of interest in cryptozoology, Bigfoot reports in Oregon skyrocketed. Many people came forward with stories, photos, and footprint evidence. Some of the most famous cases trace back to that era. And from the 1990s all the way to today, sightings have continued. The Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, has documented dozens of reports in Oregon, often describing nighttime vocalizations, large footprints, and brief visual encounters. Oregon also has a very active Bigfoot research community, with groups regularly conducting investigations, organizing expeditions, and gathering anecdotal evidence. So, could this photo be another genuine Oregon Bigfoot sighting? Honestly, the image looks pretty convincing. One of the more compelling Bigfoot photos we've seen in a while. This video was uploaded to Facebook by a user who claims to have captured footage of a real Bigfoot during a hiking trip. In the clip, we get a view of a dense forest, with the uploader's voice heard behind the camera. Off in the distance, something is moving. The cameraman sounds convinced, repeatedly insisting it's Bigfoot. based on the creature's appearance matching classic descriptions. The figure casually strolls through the woods, seemingly without a care. In terms of appearance, it has a massive frame, long legs, and a humanoid walking posture, although maybe a little too humanoid. Personally, this video feels a bit suspicious to me. After a few seconds, the creature's walking becomes strange and unnatural, making it seem like it could just be a person in a Bigfoot costume staging a skit, with the cameraman possibly playing along. Here's another fascinating Bigfoot photo to check out, though this one is particularly strange. It was submitted to the Bigfoot investigation group known as Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, a team that specializes in collecting and analyzing some of the best Bigfoot footage out there, from eyewitness submissions to controversial videos found online. This particular photo came from a semi-truck driver in Alaska, near the remote Dalton Highway. According to Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, the creature appears to be cradling an infant Bigfoot. We assume the larger figure is the mother, crouched on the cliff ledge, watching the trucker during his break. Now here's the backstory. The trucker says he's been driving rigs for over 40 years, mostly across Alaska, and he's actually had other encounters with Bigfoot before. On this day, he decided to pull over for a lunch break in an extremely remote, rugged area, what he described as the middle of nowhere, with no one around for miles. After eating, he took a walk to stretch his legs and brought his phone along to snap some pictures of the beautiful scenery. As he explored, he suddenly caught the overwhelming smell of death, like a decaying animal. He searched the area but couldn't find the source, so he simply took a few more pictures and eventually left. It wasn't until days later, after completing his trip, that he sat down for breakfast and started flipping through the photos on his phone. That's when he spotted something shocking. In one of the photos he took during the time he smelled the foul odor. There it was, an eerie figure. He immediately called his wife over, and they both were stunned. It's not easy to see at first, but when you look closely, you can make out a large figure apparently holding a smaller creature in its arms. The larger being looks absolutely chilling, with dark, sunken eyes and gaunt, haunting features. Given how vast and untouched much of Alaska is, filled with dense forests and rugged mountains, it's no surprise that the state is considered a hotspot for Bigfoot activity. So perhaps it's not so unbelievable that this trucker may have captured something extraordinary on camera. The following footage was obtained by a camper during his vacation in the mountains of California. After setting up the tent, he decided to take a break from the long journey. He climbed into the tent and began to doze. But when he heard a rustling next to the tent, he decided to turn on the camera to see what was there. But what he saw amazed him, and definitely amazed you. Let's take a look. In the footage, we see a small gap in the tent through which the footage is being shot, but what do we see from the outside? A tall, human-like creature is hanging near a tree. Perhaps there are things of the author of the video or food that this creature pecked at. We might have thought that this was an ordinary bear, if it hadn't turned around and showed us the face. The face looks like a cross between a human and an ape. It makes a heavy, slightly frightening impression, which fits well with the classic description of Bigfoot. The facial features are quite detailed, especially the shape of the nose and the line of the mouth. This may indicate that this is not just a mask or costume. The details are too naturalistic for a simple fake. What do you think about all this? Could this creature have threatened the author of the video, or is it just a fake? I want to see your opinion in the comments. In this intriguing video, a man is filming while exploring the dense woods of the Georgia mountains. As he ventures deeper into the forest, he unexpectedly spots a large, brown, hairy creature walking on two legs, reminiscent of the legendary Bigfoot. The creature moves calmly, seemingly unaware of being filmed, as it makes its way through the trees with a determined purpose. The footage offers a brief, zoomed-in view, and the creature's appearance bears a striking resemblance to Bigfoot, sparking both questions and excitement about the possibility of a real sighting. Personally, watching a video like this, especially if you frequently roam the woods, can be quite unsettling. The thought of encountering a creature like Bigfoot, even if just a slim chance, definitely adds an eerie sense of mystery to any outdoor adventure. This short clip is genuinely chilling. A man was out exploring the woods alone at night when something completely unexpected happened. As he approached an area he called the giant tree, a terrifying growl or scream suddenly echoed through the darkness.
Here we go. We're at the giant tree. I found it. Oh shit.
I have to admit I laughed a little at the way he says "oh" at the end, right before the video abruptly cuts off. You can tell he's genuinely scared. In all seriousness though, the scream itself is loud and strangely manages to sound both deep and high-pitched at once. A bizarre noise unlike anything I've ever heard.
I found it.
Sure, wild animals like moose and bobcats can make some eerie sounds, but this one stands out. It's different. There's something about it that feels otherworldly. Bigfoot is often reported to make a wide variety of sounds, according to witnesses and alleged recordings. Those who have heard them describe them as unsettling, powerful, and unlike any known animal in the area. Many reports mention long, deep, mournful howls that echo across valleys, often described as a cross between a wolf and a human, which sounds eerily similar to what we hear in this video. Let's take another listen.
I found it. Oh shit.
If you were alone in the woods and heard a noise like this, what would you think? Would you believe it was Bigfoot? Or would you assume it was just some wild animal? Let me know. What we're looking at here is a trail cam image captured deep within a forested, wildflower-rich area, right at the center of the frame, partially concealed by the tall grass and dense vegetation. There's a large bipedal figure. At first glance, the figure displays several compelling features often associated with Bigfoot sightings. The creature appears hunched forward, suggesting significant upper body mass, a classic Bigfoot trait. Its arms seem to extend almost unnaturally long relative to its torso, another feature commonly cited in eyewitness reports. The overall build looks bulky and powerful, not like a human in a costume, which often look more baggy or ill-fitted. The fur, or hair, looks varied in tone, a mixture of dark brown and grayish streaks. This uneven coloration can be a natural result of aging or environmental exposure, and it also makes it less likely to be a simple suit, which tend to have more uniform coloring. Especially notable is the shaggy texture, clumping in a way that's tough to replicate artificially. The creature is partially obscured by grass and wildflowers in the foreground, with trees and shrubs framing it naturally in the background. This lack of artificial staging adds a lot of authenticity. Overall, this image scores high on the credibility scale. The creature's bulk, texture, and natural integration into the scene suggests this isn't a quick hoax. Still, this is one of the more exciting captures we've seen recently, and it keeps the Bigfoot mystery alive and well. What do you guys think? Is this the real deal? An elaborate prank? Or just a trick of the forest? Let's discuss it in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button if you love these deep dives. Next, let's move on to the sounds that Bigfoot makes in the next footage that was taken. This recording was made in British Columbia. Let's listen to it. Giant, large, hairy, bipedal anthropoid beings were described in the ancient legends of the indigenous people of British Columbia, Canada, long before Bigfoot became a phenomenon in popular culture. The Bukwoos, male Sasquatch, and Kwakwaka'wakwu, and Dissanokwa, female version, appear in carvings and dance as well as folklore. Native watchman Tom Sewood talks about his personal encounter with the Bukwoos the Wild Man of the Woods in 1994 while on a fishing boat anchored off a village island in the Broughton Archipelago. His encounter is documented in John Bindernagel's book, North America's Great Ape, the Sasquatch. Now let's hear the testimony of this watchman.
Early 2000 period, I had a floating native gift store in my home for my young child and my common-law wife at the time over in Village Island catering to the tourists. And I was stirring soup on the stove, and two kayakers walked into the float house, and the woman goes, "What throws rocks out here, bears or squirrels?" And it got my attention, so I asked her, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Oh, we're camped over on Turner Island at this peninsula." I said, "Yeah, I know the place." And she goes, "We're sitting in a little structure." I said, "Yeah, there's like a lean-to frame on the beach, on the White Shell Beach." And she goes, "We were watching the stars sparkle and reflect on the calm water. And all of a sudden we could hear little pebbles, rocks being thrown from the trees behind us and splashing. Ba-dum, ba-dum." And she goes, "We were wondering what it was." And I said, "Well, nothing throws rocks out here except for humans and Bukwoos, the wild man of the woods, the male Sasquatch. And it's one of their traits. It's a primate characteristic that Diane Fossey and Jane Goodall established back in the 60s with primates, that when threatened or curious, they'll throw rocks. And if they're really threatened, they'll shake foliage or they'll push over dead foliage. And it's documented with chimpanzees, mountain gorillas, orangutans, monkeys, that they do these primate characteristics and acts when they feel threatened. And of course, if you correlate that to Sasquatch Bigfoot sightings, it's rampant. It's across the board.
These shots featuring a huge Yeti Bigfoot were shot in Russia. In them, we see two girls going crazy after getting into a car accident that a truck crashed into. One of the girls films the incident from inside the car. She captured a dark creature that looked like a snowman moving through the forest. Let's take a look.
Успокоились, девочки. Сейчас разберемся. Так, сейчас возьмите. Тихо, не паникуй. Так, давайте спокойно уже позвонишь.
Там что-то пробежало. Где вы
смотрите,
что делаете? Я даже не знаю, кому звонить.
Что это? Что это? Подожди, что это такое?
Ты снимаешь, что это? Что это?
In the footage, we see a humanoid creature moving not like a human through trees in a winter forest. It is black and hairy. I don't think it could be a bear or some other creature because we can clearly see two arms and two legs. The Bigfoot, often referred to as the Russian Yeti, or Almasty in some regions, is a character in folklore and legend in Russia, much like the Bigfoot in North America. Descriptions of the Yeti in Russia vary, but it is usually depicted as a large, hairy, human-like creature found in remote mountainous and forested areas. The following footage was captured by a seasoned trail cam hunter who set up his camera deep in the forest to monitor wildlife activity. When reviewing the images, he came across this startling figure which sent chills down his spine. The only thought that crossed his mind was to share this discovery with others, sparking curiosity and debate. Let's take a closer look at this mysterious photo. The image depicts a wooded area, rich with dense greenery and shadowed by the forest canopy. Among the trees, a figure can be seen partially obscured behind thick branches. At first glance, the figure appears humanoid, with features that resemble the legendary Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Its form suggests a tall, broad-shouldered entity, and what seems to be a dark, hairy texture covers much of its body. If you examine the photo more closely, the face becomes slightly distinguishable. Faint lighter areas suggest the presence of eyes and other facial features. But the intricate details are cleverly masked by the dense foliage in the foreground. This sighting has sparked a wide array of reactions. Some people are convinced this is undeniable proof of Bigfoot's existence, claiming the figure's posture and appearance match the descriptions of the mythical creature. To them, this is a breakthrough moment in the search for evidence of Sasquatch. However, others remain skeptical. They argue that the image could easily depict a trick of the light, a shadow cast by the trees, or even a person in costume. Without clearer evidence, many feel it's impossible to definitively confirm the figure's identity. Whether this is a genuine sighting or a misinterpretation, the photo has certainly ignited curiosity, keeping the Bigfoot legend alive and well. The mystery continues, leaving viewers to decide for themselves. Is this the real deal, or just another intriguing but inconclusive image? A Creek group is on Rocky Boy tribal land. and the video includes strong language and cursing. These guys are clearly shaken. I watched it on Matt Moneymaker's YouTube channel titled Rocky Boy Bigfoot Video Montana.
There, right there. Right there. There he is. You see? Yeah. Holy look, it's big and black. That looks like a gorilla. I got chills. I knew he'd be back. He's just standing there, bro. Fuck on. I'm trying to see if I can fucking see him. Shoot, camera, man. I knew they snuck away. But I heard him walking up.
Since these men filmed their Bigfoot encounter at night with a cell phone camera, visibility was limited, but there are several moments where the Sasquatch's eye shine can be seen, which helps pinpoint its location. You can see several frames that reveal the outline and head of the dark creature. Its dark color provides excellent camouflage in the nighttime forest, allowing it to blend in seamlessly with the surroundings. A strange creature resembling Bigfoot was seen between Steamboat and Greasewood. We'll provide the backstory for this image, enlarge it, and go over a few details. Terry shares that this photo was taken on the Navajo Reservation near Gatto, Arizona. There have been many comments about it on social media. He writes, "My aunt took this picture about 2 years ago. No exaggeration. This happened in a canyon between Cornfield and Greasewood, Arizona, on the Navajo Nation. She was out tending to livestock south of our homestead when she heard strange noises. She walked to the edge of the small canyon and saw this creature. It looked up at her, and being older, her immediate instinct was to snap a quick photo and get out of there. She managed to herd the sheep back and didn't return to that area for a long time. She told the family, and we all grabbed rifles, but we were told not to engage since no one was sure what it was. I heard it was spotted again a few days later. Strange things are often seen and heard in this area of the reservation. I never expected this picture to end up on social media, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. We've heard similar stories from Steamboat, Greasewood, and Navajo Station, but we're always told to leave it alone. We try not to walk alone and carry protection when we do. Our dogs are getting old, but we keep them with us. You don't have to believe me, but I'm sharing the truth of what happened that day. I genuinely believe these creatures are out there, and I will leave them be." When enlarging the image, it appears the creature was either peeking from behind cover or crouching down among the logs and embankment. It has a forward lean often associated with Bigfoot, though it might be due to it hiding. You can make out the creature's right leg and thigh below the large branch. Its face is visible, showing a right eye socket, a flat nose, and a small mouth above the chin. It also seems to have ears on either side of its head. The creature looks large and thick compared to the surrounding trees and logs. The following footage from the first seconds does not seem somehow intimidating and mysterious. An ordinary man of Mexican appearance took a selfie against the background of many fallen trees. Perhaps he found it interesting, or it's just a random photograph, but let's take a closer look at the upper right corner. It gets creepy from the realization that some kind of humanoid and a humanoid figure from the bushes. While you were in the forest, you felt like someone was watching you. Share it in the comments. Returning to the figure, I'll show you a richer and more contrasting photo where you'll see it. I can look at it by noticing human facial features. A nose, a look, a mouth, and even see a conical head, like a Bigfoot from legend. The conical shape of the head may resemble the cranial crest seen in some great apes such as gorillas, but there obviously can't be any in this region. This ridge serves as an attachment point for strong jaw muscles, and may explain why some reports describe a Bigfoot with a similar feature. Let's take a closer look at this fascinating snapshot. At first glance is a serene woodland setting, reeds, logs, and dense forest in the background. But standing in the center is something that immediately grabs your attention. A tall, dark, humanoid figure. The figure appears to be broad-shouldered and bulky, with a shape that suggests significant mass. It stands upright, giving it a distinctly human-like silhouette. But its proportions seem slightly off, potentially larger and more robust than the average person. About the details. The lighting and distance of the photo make it difficult to pinpoint specifics, such as facial features or fur texture. However, the figure appears to blend naturally into the environment, as if it's part of the scene rather than a staged addition. Its dark coloring contrasts sharply with the lighter tones of the reeds and logs, making it stand out as an ominous presence in an otherwise tranquil setting. What makes this image intriguing is its ambiguity. Could this be a genuine Bigfoot sighting? The upright posture and bulky frame align with descriptions from countless eyewitness reports. The figure doesn't seem to resemble a typical animal that might inhabit the area, such as a bear, which adds to the mystery. These creatures are thought to thrive in remote, dense forests, and this setting fits that description perfectly. The logs and water also suggest the area could be a natural pathway for wildlife, which might explain why this figure was spotted here. What do you think? Are we looking at a legitimate Bigfoot caught on camera? Or is this another case of mistaken identity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The following intriguing video was received from a person who serves in the US Army. This footage is very exciting. Was recorded on a military helicopter camera using a thermal imager. Let's take a look. In the footage, we can see a very large humanoid creature running through a wooded area. Its movements are sweeping and resemble a person, but its size confuses me. Long arms and a long stride. At one point, this creature turns around and looks at the helicopter for a second. Why is it running away? It is obvious that it was scared by the loud sound of the helicopter. It is a pity that the original video does not have a soundtrack. I am interested in what you think about this footage. It is quite intriguing for you. Write your opinion in the comments. This image presents an intriguing case of an alleged Bigfoot sighting. The setting, a remote forested area, fits the typical environment where Bigfoot is rumored to roam. In this image, we see a dark, broad-shouldered figure moving through the brush. At first glance, it exhibits a robust build, with a hunched posture and long arms, traits that are often reported in Sasquatch sightings. However, the figure's leg-to-torso ratio appears closer to that of a human, rather than the unusually long torso described in many eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot. Although this is a still image, the subject's walking posture is noteworthy. Bigfoot is often described as having a smooth, effortless stride with a notable arm swing. Here, the figure appears to have a slightly forward-leaning motion, but it's unclear if the gait truly matches the biomechanics of known Bigfoot footage, such as the famous Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. One of the biggest red flags and potential hoaxes is the uniformity of fur. Real animals and reported Bigfoot encounters describe a thick, uneven coat with different tones and textures. In this image, the figure's body appears to be covered in a material that lacks natural variation, potentially indicating a costume rather than real fur. While the image certainly captures the eerie essence of a Bigfoot encounter, there are too many unknowns to consider it definitive proof. Could this be a real Bigfoot or hoax? Let me your opinion in the comments below. Alright, this next clip, wow, I honestly don't even know what to make of it. The story sounds completely out there, but when you listen to this guy, there's a certain conviction in his voice that makes you stop and pay attention. Take a listen.
They're always watching, always. I'm going to turn the camera, and as soon as I look at them, they're going to go, but just keep an eye out. Watch. There they go. So I'm not going to go pursue them because their structures are right over there. And as long as they stay on that side of the structures, they're not bothering me. And as long as I stay on this side, I'm not bothering them. We'll get with the gifting rock here pretty soon. Snow started to melt now, so I can get back there. But anyway, yeah, pretty cool.
Let us know what you think. Now he's either completely out of his mind or so comfortable in his element that he's just rolling with it, like this is just another day for him. He does seem confident though. It's an interesting mix of certainty and hesitation. In the end, it might be nothing since all we really see is a bit of movement, but I'd love to hear what you guys think about this one. One night, a man glanced out of his window and saw something unusual.
I just happened to look out and I seen the black figure standing in the woods. it creeped me out. I thought maybe it was some person, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized that it was a lot bigger than a normal person would be. And I could see that it had like beady eyes. There were no white parts to the eye. It was just solid black. And it wasn't blinking or anything. It was just staring me down.
Seeing this, instantly, I tell myself, we're looking at a Bigfoot.
They've frequented the house almost every night since then, in some way or another. They're very close to me at all times now. They show up right after the sun goes down, and they leave right as the sun's coming up or shortly after.
He managed to capture the creature on camera multiple times, but never got close enough to see its details. When he tried to approach for a better look, the creature quickly ran off and was never seen again. What you're looking at here is an image reportedly captured deep in the forest by an automated wildlife trail camera. At first glance, it might seem like just another blurry forest shot, until your eyes land on that figure. Hidden behind the dense web of tree branches, we see what appears to be a large, upright, dark creature, something that strongly resembles the classic image of a Bigfoot. The figure is standing in a partially crouched or leaning forward posture, with a thick, broad torso and limbs that suggest immense power. It seems to be moving or reaching through the foliage, and there's a strange sense of purpose in its stance, as if it was caught mid-action. The creature appears massive in proportion to the surrounding vegetation. Compare it to the visible tree trunks and branches nearby, and you'll notice the height and bulk. It has a dome-shaped head, thick neck, and a hunched posture, which are all consistent with traditional Sasquatch sightings. The figure is covered in dark, possibly black or deep brown fur. While the resolution of the image isn't crystal clear, you can see the fur looks dense and matted, not like a costume with synthetic fabric sheen. The texture seems to follow the natural contours of the body. Some skeptics may point out the blur, but motion blur is expected in trail cam images of moving animals. What's striking here is the proportion in body structure. If this is someone in a suit, it's extremely well made, showing no sagging or seams and seemingly fitting the figure with anatomical accuracy. What do you think? Another hoax, a misidentified bear, or the real deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments. While hiking through Provo Canyon in Utah, two friends suddenly spotted a figure in the distance.
It's too close to it, huh? How cool though. Let's go. It's too close to it, huh? How cool though.
At first they assumed it was a black bear, but that changed when the creature rose to its feet. It quickly became clear that this wasn't a bear at all, but a tall, humanoid figure cloaked in dark fur. The situation grew tense as the mysterious being seemed to notice them. Feeling threatened, the hikers didn't wait around. They turned and ran. While out enjoying a day of skiing, this man suddenly noticed something out of the ordinary.
You better watch out, you better not die, you better not crash, I'm telling you why, 'cause you told your wife you weren't at work.
A tall, dark figure was peeking out from behind a tree. Its towering height and shadowy outline bore an eerie resemblance to the classic depiction of Bigfoot. Unfortunately, the footage cuts off abruptly, leaving whatever happened next shrouded in mystery. A newly surfaced photo of a mysterious cryptid has people buzzing. No one can quite figure out what it is. Some are calling it a dogman. Others think it might be a Sasquatch. The image was just uploaded on March 28th, 2025. Take a look at it. This one's definitely strange. It has an ape-like appearance, but it's way too large. Something about the face seems off. It has big bright eyes, a large nose, and an unusually wide mouth. Its arms are incredibly muscular and unusually long, which suggests it might be able to move on all fours. Still, based on its hunched stance and leg position, it looks like a bipedal creature. It also appears to be insanely tall. I just wish we could see it fully upright. One of the biggest debates surrounding this image is whether it shows a real creature or just someone in an elaborate costume. Believers argue that if it is a costume, it's incredibly realistic, almost too good. They especially point to the visible muscle structure, particularly in the right arm and shoulder, saying, if this were fake, would the muscles show so clearly through the suit? The exact location of the photo hasn't been confirmed, but it was shared by a group called Boise Bigfoot, so it might have been taken in or near Boise, Idaho. Whatever it is, this image adds to the growing pile of mysterious and intriguing evidence that could support the existence of either Dogman or Bigfoot, depending on what you believe. A newly uploaded video, shared on June 25th, 2024, has only been viewed by about 1,000 people so far. The footage shows a man investigating strange sounds and movements in the woods at the edge of his property. Driven by curiosity, he ventured closer, and what he discovered was astonishing.
It's gotta be 9 foot tall. Hey, big fella. Hey, fella.
The short clip captures a massive creature emerging from the dark forest. Upon realizing it's been spotted, the creature turns and retreats, moving cautiously, as though trying to stay unnoticed. The man filming is left both stunned and intrigued, estimating the creature to be at least 9 feet tall. He describes it as a bipedal beast, covered in thick gray and black fur. When the frame is paused, the features closely resemble the descriptions of Bigfoot, though only the upper half of the creature is clearly visible. The video has convinced many viewers online that this could be a genuine Bigfoot sighting, and the man who recorded it believes so as well. On September 10th, 2024, remarkably clear evidence of Bigfoot was shared online. The post included a caption stating that the photo was sent by a follower and was allegedly taken before the rise of AI technology. Researchers have often pointed out that Bigfoot's arms are longer than those of humans, and in this image, the arms are notably prominent. The photo shows a Sasquatch-like creature covered in mud, which contrasts with the usual depiction of Bigfoot. This one appears smaller and slimmer, leading many to believe it could be a juvenile. The clarity of the image is striking, showing every detail from its primate-like, humanish face to its defined chest muscles and even individual fingers. The level of detail is remarkable. Skeptics suggest the image may be AI-generated, but, as noted, the photo is believed to predate the widespread use of AI technology. It also lacks the surreal or glossy look often found in AI-generated images. Additionally, the presence of mud is significant, as most Bigfoot hoaxes feature creatures that appear unnaturally clean. The presence of mud suggests that this creature has been living in the wild for quite some time. This photo stands out as a truly unique representation of Sasquatch. The Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, RMSO, recently reported a possible Bigfoot encounter in Utah's remote Manti La Sal National Forest. According to their account, a deer hunter had a frightening experience when a large creature, believed to be a Sasquatch, allegedly threw a log in his direction. RMSO shared the hunter's chilling story on their official Facebook page, drawing attention to the strange and unsettling event. This isn't the first time RMSO has documented unusual activity in the Manti La Sal Mountains. In one notable case from 1973, an elk hunter and his group reported a shocking incident where an unknown force ripped the door off a 300-pound horse trailer and hurled it about 10 feet. Interestingly, the imprint left on the door didn't match that of a bear or a human, pointing to the possible presence of something unknown, something powerful. So, what do you make of this latest photo tied to the event? Could it be evidence of Bigfoot? On a recent trip to a secluded mountain area, a man captured something strange on film. As he zoomed in between two large rocks, he spotted this. A tall, broad figure stood out against the rocks, appearing to lie there until it noticed the people nearby. At that point, it quickly vanished. Many believe it resembled the legendary creature, while others think it might have just been a bear. This video was recorded in the western woods of Kuchi, Slovakia, where a hiker embarked on a 2-day journey through the vast forest. During his hike, he began to feel as though something, or someone, was watching him. As he continued, he filmed his experience and eventually stumbled upon a strange hut made of large branches. Intrigued, he approached it while filming, and that's when this happened. A deep, growling noise echoed from outside. Terrified, he fled, but as he walked further, he heard rustling sounds. Pointing his camera in the direction of the noise, he was horrified to see a tall figure shaking the trees. Its enormous size became clear when compared to the surrounding trees. Fear-stricken, the hiker ran away, swearing never to return to those woods. A man stands at the edge of a peaceful stream, recording himself as he fishes. Unbeknownst to him, a dark figure silently emerges from the tree line in the background. The mysterious creature lingers for just a moment before slipping back into the forest. Completely unaware, the man continues filming, having unknowingly captured something truly extraordinary. This next footage was recorded in Idaho toward the end of 2021 and was uploaded by YouTube user NVTV. What makes this video stand out is its unusual clarity. It shows a close-up encounter with what many believe to be Bigfoot. The uploader pointed out the remarkable level of detail in the creature's body and fur, noting that its massive, intimidating size strongly suggests it's not just someone in a costume. According to them, the footage is particularly striking because it's rare to see an alleged Bigfoot captured this clearly and from such a close distance. The figure fills the frame, giving viewers a solid sense of its sheer width and bulk. While hiking up a snow-covered mountain, a family noticed a large, dark, humanoid figure in the distance. At first, it seemed to be sitting still on the slope, blending seamlessly into the rugged landscape. Then, to their surprise, it rose to its feet, revealing a towering stature and upright posture. Startled, the family believed they might have seen Bigfoot. They managed to film the encounter from a distance before the figure slowly disappeared from sight.
No, you'll be fine. I'm just gonna get more footage of the Sasquatch. Hey, seriously, look how big it is. It's just chilling. I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch. Because look, he's on the mountain, way far back on the mountain. But look how huge he is. Okay, so now we drove way down the hill. And look how big that person still is, all the way up on that mountain. Way the hell up there. You can see them right there. Right there. He's sitting on a rock. He's huge. Leave first, but one. I'm gonna get. No, you'll be fine. I'm just gonna get more footage of the Sasquatch. Hey, seriously, look how big it is.
On March 17th, 2025, exclusive footage surfaced online. According to the caption, the newly leaked clips, allegedly from a government source, appear to show what looks like a Bigfoot. The footage is shaky and unclear, suggesting it may not have come from a trail camera as initially assumed. Either way, this is the clip that's causing a stir. The relatively close-up footage captures a bipedal, humanoid figure moving swiftly through the forest. It appears to have been startled, possibly unaware of the cameraman's presence until the last moment. At first, it's seen crouching low, seemingly preoccupied, but once it realizes it's being watched, it quickly bolts, possibly carrying something as it disappears into the trees. This black and white video has gone viral across several social media platforms, drawing the attention of millions. The big question now is it real? That's the center of the ongoing online debate. One viewer insisted it's as authentic as it gets. Meanwhile, another claimed it's just the beginning of AI-generated videos being passed off as genuine. Interestingly, the footage is rumored to have been leaked by a government source, but no exact location has been provided, only adding to the mystery. And like so many videos involving Bigfoot or other cryptid creatures, this one is surrounded by controversy. These beings still haven't been officially recognized by science, so their existence remains unproven. But maybe, just maybe, one day we'll finally get the confirmation we've all been waiting for. While checking the perimeter of his property after noticing signs of damage, a man decided to investigate the nearby wooded area. As he moved deeper into the forest, he was suddenly startled when several stones were hurled toward him from an unknown source. The unexpected aggression immediately put him on edge. Moments later, he heard low, guttural grunts echoing through the trees, sounds unlike anything he'd ever encountered in the wild. Fearing for his safety, and increasingly convinced that he may have stumbled upon something extraordinary, possibly a Bigfoot, he quickly turned around and fled the area. The experience left him shaken and wondering what exactly he had encountered in those dark woods. This next clip was submitted in 2021 by a man named Eddie V to the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization. The footage itself was recorded by Eddie's cousin while kayaking along a stretch of the Cass River in Michigan. In the video, a large humanoid figure, seemingly covered in light brown fur, can be seen carrying what looks like an infant creature resembling itself. Although the footage is blurry, as is common with alleged Bigfoot sightings, the figure is clearly visible, wading through the river with the baby in its arms. Take a look for yourself.
I remember.
Keithy, the creator behind the YouTube channel Metal Detecting in Alaska, was documenting one of his solo metal detecting adventures deep in the Alaskan wilderness when he suddenly heard haunting, echoing howls in the distance, sounds that didn't resemble any known animal. Just moments after the eerie noises faded, a massive rock came hurtling through the air and splashed into a nearby lake, startling him. The combination of the unsettling vocalizations and the unexpected stone throwing left him deeply unnerved, leading him to consider the possibility that he had just experienced a Bigfoot encounter.
Well, it's getting dark on me. Down to my last target. Looks like a little wood, or... What's that? Whoa, did you guys hear that? It sounded like something howling. Still hear it. Sweet little box. Boy, that freaked me out. Oh. Alright, so I'm working my way back. Whoa, did you hear that? Oh man, something just threw something in the water right beside me.
A mushroom forager in northern Illinois ended up finding more than just fungi. While exploring a wooded area, he captured something strange on video and later uploaded it to his YouTube channel, Tomorrow's Garden.
And this one looks like it has a bite out of it. And this one. And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. Huh? I think it's time to go.
At first glance, the footage appears to be genuine. However, some viewers noted that the audio sounded eerily similar to something from a movie, sparking debate about its authenticity. The forager did revisit the same area 6 years later and filmed a follow-up video. This time, nothing unusual was heard. Interestingly, the original video even made its way onto the History Channel. So what's your take on it? This image, allegedly captured by hikers deep in a forested region, is an intriguing addition to the ongoing debate about Bigfoot's existence. At first glance, the photograph appears to depict a dark, humanoid figure, partially obscured by trees, blending into the natural environment. The figure in question has a dark, bulky form, seemingly covered in fur or dense material. Its head appears slightly conical, a feature frequently described in eyewitness accounts of Sasquatch. However, due to the poor resolution and the natural shadows cast by the dense forest, it's difficult to discern any fine details, such as facial features or specific muscle movement. The setting of this alleged sighting fits the typical Bigfoot habitat, deep within a forest, away from human civilization. Dense tree coverage provides ample hiding spots, which aligns with the idea that a large, intelligent primate species could remain elusive. However, the environment also presents the possibility of pareidolia, a psychological phenomenon where the brain perceives familiar patterns, such as faces or figures, in random objects. The interplay of light and foliage may be creating the illusion of a humanoid figure, when, in reality, it could be a combination of shadows, branches, and tree trunks. Unlike the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, where Bigfoot's movement is a key aspect of credibility, this image is static. The figure appears to be sitting or crouching, but due to the lack of additional frames or video footage, we can't analyze gait or movement patterns, which are often distinguishing factors between a real creature and a hoax. One common critique of Bigfoot images is the possibility of a hoax, someone in a suit designed to mimic the legendary cryptid. In this case, the lighting and blur make it difficult to rule out a person wearing dark clothing or a gorilla costume. Unlike some hoax cases, there is no visible zipper, unnatural folds, or fabric texture, which strengthens the case for a more natural formation. What do you think? Could this be one of the most elusive creatures on Earth, or is it just another trick of the light? Let's discuss in the comments below. While fishing by a lake, a man noticed something unusual.
Oh, there it is. See it? Yeah, it's on my side of the bank now. See it? I'm gonna zoom in as close as I can. There it is. It's like it's still in the water up to its waist. It knows I'm up here. I think it wants to come up here, but it's not going to while I'm here. So there you have it, guys. Isn't this river beautiful?
In the distance, a large, dark figure stood, seemingly searching for food along the riverbank. Could this be Bigfoot, or is it just a regular animal? While hunting in Michigan, a man with his 2 dogs was walking in search of a good place in the Huron National Forest, when suddenly he heard strange sounds. He decided to record them. Let's listen.
Sounds like squash, don't it? What do you guys think that is? Should I call back?
After long wanderings around the park, he found a special place equipped with a cabin for hunting. Once there, the sounds suddenly increased. I suggest you also listen to them.
Guys, hear that shit? It's fucking crazy sounding. Wrap it up, get up my shit, do some hunting, and some crazy sound predators or shit.
Perhaps this hunter is the luckiest person, because he did not have a chance to meet this Bigfoot. A Reddit user was hiking in Queensland, Australia, when they came across a parked car and noticed an unusually large handprint on the back window. The print was described as extremely oily, a trait often linked to Yahi hands, which are believed to be much oilier than human hands. Additionally, the thumb appeared lower on the hand, a characteristic more commonly seen in apes than in humans. In one of the photos, a normal-sized human hand can be seen at the bottom for comparison, highlighting a noticeable size difference. With countless similar prints reported worldwide, there seems to be something to this phenomenon, though its true nature remains a mystery. True nature? In August 2019, Doug Teague, a resident of Hickory, North Carolina, filmed what he believes to be a Bigfoot while walking his dog. He heard loud knocking sounds in the distance and decided to investigate. Doug soon discovered large footprints and followed them until he spotted a strange creature.
He's still up here. Or something's up here. He's moving. He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here. He's moving. He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here. He's moving. He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here. He's moving.
He claimed that as he got closer, the creature started throwing stones at him. Later, an anthropologist examined the footprints and estimated that they belonged to a creature around 15 feet tall. Experts agreed that the prints appeared to be authentic. One comment: as he was driving down the highway, a man noticed something unusual on a distant hill, an upright figure that immediately caught his attention. It appeared tall, but what truly stood out was the way it moved. Its posture and gait didn't seem entirely human, yet it also didn't resemble any known animal. Intrigued and unable to identify it, he quickly took a photo and later shared it with the Reddit community, hoping for answers. The image sparked immediate discussion, with many users speculating that it could be Bigfoot. The figure's height, stance, and movement all seemed to align with classic reports of Sasquatch sightings. Others, however, suggested alternative explanations, ranging from a person in dark clothing to an optical illusion caused by shadows. Despite the debate, no clear answer emerged, leaving the sighting open to interpretation. Could this be genuine evidence of Bigfoot, or is there a more ordinary explanation? This creekside footage captures what looks like a Bigfoot. According to the uploader, they were fishing on the opposite side of the water when this figure suddenly emerged from the woods. You guys can see what I see. Tall, covered in hair, definitely has that Bigfoot-like appearance. One thing that really stands out to me is how indifferent it seems to its surroundings. Typically, Bigfoots are known for being hyper-aware and elusive. It's part of how they've remained hidden for so long. But this one? It almost looks like it's foraging along the shoreline rather than fishing. Of course, I had to check out the comments, and one person claimed they could see it wearing high tops. I didn't catch that, but if you pause the clip, take a close look and let me know. Do you see them? Check out this astonishing video sent to us, showing a massive Sasquatch up close, ripping through trees and branches in the woods. When we first watched this footage, we were hesitant to upload it, knowing many of you might immediately call it fake. Whether it's a hoax, CGI, a guy in a suit, or just someone's friend playing a prank. But we also know there are those of you who want to see everything, no matter how questionable it may seem. So, for the curious minds out there, this one's for you. This creature exhibits aggressive behavior, snapping branches in what seems like an attempt to intimidate the nearby human. But that raises an important question. Why would a Bigfoot allow someone to get this close? We know that Sasquatch is highly aware of human presence long before we even set foot in the woods. They have their own mysterious ways of detecting intruders, though how exactly they do it remains unknown. So, could this be an exception? Perhaps this particular creature is extremely old, possibly deaf, or simply indifferent to the presence of humans. Or maybe, just maybe, it's not the real deal after all. What do you think? This video clip comes from the show Meat Eater with Steven Ranella. In the footage, what appears to be a Bigfoot-like creature is seen peeking out from behind a tree while observing a deer. Unbeknownst to the Sasquatch, a hunter had set up a trail camera in the area to monitor game activity. Take a closer look. As the video is slowed down, you can clearly see the Bigfoot attempting to hide behind a tree, but it's caught on camera. When the footage is zoomed in, you can make out details like white or gray hair and some facial features. Opinions are divided about the clip. Some suggest it's part of the production, possibly a crew member following the hunter with a camera. They argue that this person would also adhere to scent-free protocols and wear camouflage, carrying a small camera instead of a weapon. If the hunter was hidden well enough from the elk and the supposed Bigfoot, then the camera operator would be too. Others doubt this explanation, pointing out that a mature elk would not remain so close to a predator without reacting. They argue it's either another elk or possibly just wind moving some foliage. If the figure was as clear to Steven Ranella as it appears in the footage, it would likely have been close enough to the elk to spook it with any unexpected sound or movement. Some viewers note that during the first two appearances, the movement might resemble a branch swaying in the wind. However, during the third peek, the figure emerges lower and follows an unusual arc-like path. It even seems to continue moving to the opposite side of the tree just before the video ends. While it could be a crew member, others insist it doesn't behave like wind-blown vegetation. Skeptics highlight that animals like elk are always alert to predators, ready to flee at the slightest sign of danger. If the figure were a predator, the elk would likely have bolted, especially given its movement. Some suggest that if the camera can capture the movement so clearly from a distance, there's no way the elk would miss it. The debate rages on, as many are still unsure what exactly they're seeing in this clip. Here's a controversial photograph from the 1970s, originating from Fort McMurray, Alberta. This image has circulated widely and continues to ignite heated debates in cryptozoology circles. The story goes that a snowmobiler was out riding when something massive crossed the path ahead. Acting quickly, he grabbed his camera and snapped a photo of what he believed to be a Bigfoot. The figure in the photograph appears dark and bulky, moving through the snowy terrain with what some describe as an unmistakably non-human gait. After examining the image closely, several points are worth considering. First, the 1970s were a particularly active period for Bigfoot sightings, but this was also a time when winter gear was often bulky and dark-colored. What appears to be a muscular figure might simply be a person in a heavy snowmobile suit. Additionally, the image's blurriness, typical of 1970s camera technology, makes detailed analysis challenging. The timing of the photo raises another issue. Fort McMurray experiences limited daylight in winter, and the lighting in the image suggests it was taken during dawn or dusk, times when visual perception can be unreliable. The contrast between the snow and the dark figure could also create an illusion of greater size. That said, Alberta's vast wilderness has been the setting for numerous unexplained sightings over the years. Its remote forests and harsh climate could theoretically provide the isolation necessary for an undiscovered species to remain hidden. So, what do you think? Is this a case of someone in winter gear captured at an odd angle, or did this snowmobiler manage to photograph evidence of something truly mysterious in the Canadian wilderness? This eerie video surfaced online, shared by a man from South Carolina, USA. The footage captures strange noises coming from his backyard, prompting him to investigate. What he discovered was caught on camera. To cause the kind of damage seen on the tree, it would take the strength of a gorilla or chimpanzee. Take a look for yourself. This footage is absolutely astonishing. And no, this isn't about the escaped lab monkeys from South Carolina.
I hope you can hear this. It sounds like gorillas fighting in the tree. They're breaking limbs bigger around than me. I've never seen anything like it in my life. This is the second time I've come over here. And the first time when I got up under them trying to figure out what it was, they started breaking limbs off and throwing them at me. And I still cannot figure out what it is. Look, they're ruining this freaking place. What in God's name is it? It's bigger than me, whatever it is. Because just breaking limbs off that it would take me 2 minutes to saw. Look, see, he's coming right above me right here. He's fixing to throw something at me, whatever it is. Yeah, they don't like you messing with them. Look. What in God's name is going on? Look, that's bigger than me. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. What in Jesus' name is doing this? Oh my God, he just took half the tree down. Something, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, it's gotta be I don't even think a bear would have a chance in Hades and it doing this. It's something stronger than a bear. And he is pissed. Yeah, that's a healthy tree. About 8 to 10, maybe even 12 inches in diameter that he just broke because he's pissed because I'm getting close to him. I think I'm gonna bounce because I think he just hit the ground, which means he's about to face me on foot. And I don't really want to wrestle with somebody that can tear trees down just because they're mad. My God, look at the tree he just freaking broke in half.
A hunter from northwestern Pennsylvania recently shared an extraordinary photo. According to him, he had started noticing something, or someone, following him through the forest over the past few weeks. A tall, dark figure would occasionally appear on the hills, hiding behind trees and rocks. Feeling both intrigued and uneasy, he decided to uncover the identity of this mysterious stalker by setting up a series of trail cameras in the woods. To his astonishment, one of the cameras captured a clear image of the creature. The photo shows a large, shaggy figure resembling either a monkey or the legendary Bigfoot, Sasquatch. The creature appeared to approach the camera, seemingly curious, and looked directly into the lens. The image was detailed enough to rule out ordinary explanations, such as a falling leaf or a bird in motion. Unsurprisingly, the hunter and many others believe the camera may have captured the elusive Bigfoot. It's possible that the creature, intrigued by the unusual appearance of the camera, stopped to examine it closely, resulting in the remarkable snapshot. The following recording from the trail camera was made in a wooded area of Michigan, near the city of Dearborn. A local hunter, as usual, was recording animals in a permitted area, while watching the recordings hoping to see various animals. He saw this. In the presented frames, we see a night shot from the forest. The object appears in 3 consecutive photographs, which in itself deserves attention. This eliminates the possibility of a simple glare or camera artifact. We see something massive, dark, moving from left to right between the trees. In the first pictures, the figure appears to be slightly tilted forward, as if it is in motion. The outlines are blurred, but you can see the broad shoulders and narrowing to the waist, which is more like the silhouette of a humanoid creature than an animal. At the same time, the object looks much larger than an ordinary person in dark clothes. In relation to the trees, the height exceeds the average height. In the following frames, the figure has shifted closer to the center and looks more massive. Here we see a clearer silhouette of the back and head, which seems disproportionately large. It is important to note that these images retain the same density and texture of the dark covering of the figure, which suggests the presence of thick wool. This footage comes from the Kilcoy area, where an abandoned collapsed tent was discovered deep in the Queensland bush. Glenn shared the recording, which, in my opinion, may show as many as 3 Yahi. He has documented Yahi tracks on multiple occasions along the stretch from Caboosher to Kilcoy on the Sunshine Coast, and notes that many of the tracks in this region appear to have 6 toes.
Oh, well. Yeah, did you see the big tree break over there? It was a good snap.
During a hike, Glenn and his companion stumbled upon the damaged, deserted tent near a creek and small waterhole. It was around this spot that most of the Yahi activity seemed to occur. Interestingly, a heavy log had been placed across the tent, perhaps as a warning or message, "Do not camp here." The video itself is challenging to interpret, but if you look closely at the rock to the left of the old tent, the first section shows a large dark figure near the rock as the camera moves closer, before it slips away into the bush. In the second part, a smaller shape can be seen moving behind the rock. Later, Glenn returned to the scene and took a size comparison photo. He positioned himself next to the same tree where the largest yahi had reportedly stood before withdrawing into the undergrowth. The comparison suggests the creature was nearly twice Glenn's height. On reviewing the footage further, another detail emerges. To Glenn's left, hidden among the trees, appears a crouching dark yahi with a grayish face, watching him intently. Its bent arm extending outward can also be made out along the right side of its figure. A newly surfaced video online is stirring debate, with some suggesting it may capture a possible Bigfoot deep in a North American forest. Filmed in a remote, heavily wooded area, the footage shows a tall, shadowy figure moving with deliberate slowness through the trees. What makes the clip especially compelling is the figure's behavior. Instead of merely passing by, it appears to interact with its surroundings. At one point, it crouches close to the ground, scanning the forest floor before reaching upward to tug down branches, actions that resemble foraging or examining vegetation. Its movements are steady and controlled, displaying strength and purpose against the dense woodland backdrop. The figure's build looks broad and muscular, with long arms that hang low and swing naturally as it moves. Observers note its posture and gait differ subtly from that of a human, adding weight to the idea it may not be an ordinary figure, though the footage is not crystal clear and leaves room for doubt. The combination of its size, mannerisms, and apparent foraging has fueled speculation that this could be one of the clearest behavioral glimpses of Bigfoot ever recorded. Skeptics remain unconvinced, citing the possibility of a hoax or mistaken identity. Even so, the video has already sparked widespread conversation and reignited interest in the enduring mystery of North America's most famous cryptid. In August, a trail camera on a remote Missouri farm captured something its owner still can't explain. At first glance, it seemed like just another motion alert triggered by swaying branches, but when he opened the photo on his phone, he froze. A massive figure stood in the middle of the creek. The camera hadn't even been set up for wildlife. It was there to monitor water levels after flooding earlier that summer had swept away a kayak. Usually the only images it sent were of leaves drifting in the wind. But that afternoon, as the landowner sat down to lunch with his wife, his phone buzzed. Expecting nothing unusual, he tapped the app, only to see something enormous, upright in the water, staring back at the lens. He nearly jumped out of his seat and quickly switched to the live feed, but by the time it loaded, the figure had vanished. Hours later, he and his brother returned to the spot to look for answers. The banks held no tracks, only loose gravel that left no trace of what had been there.
This is the shoreline. And this is the entire area around. As you can see, it's a giant tree right here and about an 8-foot cliff. So it'd be very difficult for someone to jump down or jump up. And then this is directly above. Just so you can kind of get a view of the geography here. And then this is directly below. As you can see, I'm about a foot into the water here. This is exactly where he was standing. It's the exact spot. We came back and we're a few feet forward from where we were in the other picture. So we tried to get in the exact spot. And then the camera is right up there where Will's at, and we're trying to trigger it from here because I'm not big enough to do it. So
the man's brother, who stands about 6 feet tall, posed in the same spot for scale. Yet the figure in the original photo appeared several feet taller and 2 to 3 times broader. 2 days later, the brothers repeated the test. Same camera, same angle, same time of day. The results were clear. Whatever showed up in that first image was far larger than any man. Covered in shades of brown and black, it stood upright on 2 legs, seemingly walking toward the camera. Locals had whispered for years about strange howls in those woods, which he had always brushed off as coyotes. But with this photo, and the undeniable size difference compared to his brother, the landowner became convinced his camera had captured Bigfoot. And here's the chilling twist. The photo wasn't even triggered by the creature itself. The camera fired only because leaves fluttered across the lens at just the right moment. Without that stroke of luck, the figure might never have been seen at all. So, what do you think? Did a Missouri Trail cam really capture Bigfoot in broad daylight? Or is there another explanation? The Bigfoot Research Organization is now investigating, and I'll be sharing updates. Stetson and Shannon Parker were on a romantic trip to Colorado, celebrating their 10th wedding anniversary. While riding a train between the towns of Silverton and Durango in the state's southwest, they glanced out the window and saw this.
It's an elusive creature. Alright, just squat it down. Yeah, let me see your camera, I'll do it.
According to Shannon's Facebook post, she and her husband spotted a strange, Sasquatch-like figure slipping through the brush near the mountains. Her husband quickly pulled out his phone and began recording. As they drove past, their son Stetson noticed movement and said, "I think it's Bigfoot." The couple, and many who later viewed the footage online, believe they really captured the elusive creature. The figure looks just like classic descriptions of Bigfoot, even appearing to crouch and blend into the brush to avoid being seen. Skeptics argue it could simply be a person in a costume, since the figure is roughly human-sized in the video. But those who witnessed it firsthand insist it was closer to 7 feet tall or more, far larger than the average person. Shannon later told the New York Post that before their trip, they weren't sure if Bigfoot was real, but after this encounter, they are convinced. She also managed to snap a few photos of the creature as they drove past. This sighting is especially intriguing because of the amount of supporting evidence. Video, photos, and eyewitness testimony. Yet despite all that, the encounter leaves us with more questions than answers. Up next is a video so intense it inspired the famous Canadian survivalist Les Stroud to launch a full-scale Bigfoot investigation.
I think that's a Jesus Christ, that's a bipedal. Some kind of a bipedal humanoid. Covered in hair. I gotta get to my car. APB, calling all park rangers. We need it's a serious situation out here. If you don't hear back from
The footage comes from a park ranger who ventured deep into the boreal forests of Alberta, Canada, to look into a series of alleged Bigfoot attacks on park personnel. As he moves through the dense woods, he documents his surroundings, scanning the area carefully until he notices something unusual.
Discovery Channel and History Channel. We're finding that a lot of teenagers are coming out here and doing some strange things.
At first, he brushes off a shadowy shape between the trees, assuming it's just a tree trunk. But as he continues his search, the situation quickly escalates.
You know, trying to create a clamor about it.
Suddenly, he spots a black figure peeking out from behind a tree, seemingly stalking him. Once the creature realizes it's been seen, it reacts aggressively, letting out a chilling, guttural scream that echoes through the forest.
Putting in overtime at the park. What's that? What? Is that? Holy hell. I never thought this could be possible, but...
It's clear from the footage that the figure is a bipedal creature, completely covered in thick black hair. Recognizing the immediate danger, the ranger bolts toward his vehicle, but the creature's horrific screams continue behind him, sending waves of fear through the air.
Some kind of a bipedal humanoid, covered in hair. I gotta get to my car.
Just as he reaches the parking area, the camera abruptly cuts to black, and his blood-curdling cries for help ring out. It's clear he's under attack, but the video ends there, leaving viewers in stunned silence.
APB, calling all park rangers. We need it's a serious situation out here. If you don't hear back from...
This shocking footage was so powerful, it prompted the Discovery Channel to get involved, sending Les Stroud on a mission to hunt for the mysterious creature. I always knew Bigfoot encounters could be unsettling, but after seeing something like this, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to experience that firsthand. While Bigfoot footprints aren't the most common form of evidence, they remain some of the most compelling. Typically, we come across videos, photos, and even audio recordings. But today, I came across some of the most convincing footprint evidence yet. According to renowned Bigfoot researcher Cliff Crook, Unusual footprints were discovered by mushroom hunters near Mount Rainier National Park in Washington state. The witnesses, Karen and Grant Ferguson, along with Karen's father, Joseph Reed, reported encountering a strong, foul odor and hearing loud crashing sounds in the woods. Soon after, they stumbled upon massive footprints, with strides measuring over 6 feet. These tracks were among the most impressive Crook had encountered during his 33 years of Bigfoot investigation. The footprints, which date back to September 1990, were found on a sandbar along the upper Nisqually River. They measured roughly 7 by 14 inches. Crook made plaster casts of the prints, noting their resemblance to an oversized, heavily calloused, ape-like foot. Despite how intriguing the discovery was, no official reports were filed with local authorities. A Pierce County Sheriff's deputy commented on the general reluctance to report such encounters, mentioning a state trooper who faced lasting skepticism after coming forward with a similar story, while the scientific community remains doubtful due to a lack of conclusive evidence. The 1990 Mount Rainier footprints continue to spark interest and debate among Bigfoot enthusiasts and researchers. This footage comes from a group of tourists exploring the boreal forest, where they unexpectedly captured what appears to be a Bigfoot sighting. The video opens with a view of the dense woods, and in the distance, a black figure can be seen hunched over. As the camera pans to the side, it reveals a large crowd of onlookers, all with their cameras trained on the mysterious creature. The figure remains crouched, making it difficult to determine its full height, but it's clear that it's of impressive size. While some might speculate it could be a gorilla or another large primate, it's important to remember that no such animals are native to the wilds of Canada. Toward the end of the clip, a person in a red shirt can be seen stepping out of the trees, adding a strange and puzzling element. Why would anyone approach a creature like that so closely? One crisp autumn morning, outdoor enthusiast Ben Carter wandered into a quiet section of forest near his hometown, camera in hand, hoping only to capture misty landscapes and the occasional critter. Later, as he scrolled through his shots, one image stopped him cold. A dark shape, crouched behind a thick tree trunk barely visible at a distance. At first, Ben assumed it was another hiker. Odd, since nobody greeted him and he hadn't noticed anyone on the trail. But when he zoomed in, the silhouette looked far broader and more solid than any person should be. Encouraged by his family, Ben posted the photo online, admitting he still isn't sure what he caught. Some viewers insist it's Bigfoot, pointing to the broad shoulders and fuzzy outline, while others dismiss it as a shadow, a stranger, a camera glitch, or even a hoax. Whatever the truth, that single snapshot has ignited a firestorm of debate. Ben's content to let the mystery remain unsolved. He doubts he'll ever find definitive proof, but now that the image is on YouTube, the comments won't let him off the hook. Personally, I'm eager to see what answers emerge. This next video comes from Russia and captures what appears to be a creature strikingly similar to Bigfoot. The footage begins with a view of tall, dense woods, but as the camera pans toward a hillside, a strange figure comes into view. Upon reviewing and slowing down the video, it's clear that the creature has an enormous body frame, covered in thick fur. What stands out even more is the creature's head shape and overall build. They look incredibly humanoid, fitting the classic descriptions of Bigfoot. What really gives me chills is how the creature seems to be stalking the person filming. The moment the camera swings in its direction, it quickly tries to hide. I don't know what its intentions were, but I have a feeling they weren't exactly friendly. This video was captured by a hiker deep in the boreal forests of Canada. While trekking through the woods, he couldn't shake the eerie feeling that he was being watched. He slowly pans his camera across the landscape, and that's when he notices something unusual in the distance. Zooming in, he sees a figure staring directly back at him. At first glance, it looks like a bear covered in black fur, but on closer examination, the creature's head appears distinctly humanoid, more like an ape or gorilla. Considering that apes and gorillas don't inhabit Canada, the true nature of this figure remains a mystery. Based on its size relative to the nearby trees, it's possible this was a young Bigfoot. Regardless of what it was, the hiker may have found himself in a very dangerous situation without even realizing it. 2 hikers captured this footage in Texas, USA, showing a massive dark creature walking upright before dropping to all fours on camera. Check it out and decide for yourself.
Oh, what's that? Oh my gosh.
This next video could really ignite your curiosity. A hidden trail camera, set up to monitor a growing fox population, ended up capturing something far more enigmatic. What appears on the footage is a large, hairy figure, sauntering within inches of the lens. Although we only see its midsection, it's clearly tall and nearly humanoid in shape. Each step thuds with such weight you'd think even a bear would tread more lightly. Add that dense coat of fur, and it certainly looks like a contender for Bigfoot. Granted, we don't see the whole creature, literally or figuratively, but what is visible is unlike any ordinary forest dweller. What's your take? Could this be the legendary Bigfoot, or just someone out in the woods staging an elaborate prank? I'd love to hear if anyone has more details about this footage. Wow, how did I miss this one? A 1997 home video shot in New York seems to catch a juvenile Sasquatch swinging in the background. I'm all about accidental Bigfoot sightings, and this clip is a gem. At the start, you can hear the guy, pretty tipsy, rambling about burning cans and whatnot, while something swings just behind him. Look closely, and it's unmistakable. If this really was filmed in New York, it's a blockbuster find. There are no known primates living there. I'm passing this one to you all. Can anyone offer a plausible explanation to debunk it? We delve into a compelling photo captured by a trail cam that allegedly shows a portion of Bigfoot's face. First, let's observe the key elements of this image. The lighting is quite dim, typical of nighttime settings for trail cameras. What stands out immediately is the large reflective eye that seems to be gazing directly at the camera. This eye, often described as characteristic of Bigfoot, appears to have a prominent inner reflection, which is intriguing as it suggests the subject is close to the lens. The surrounding fur or texture is indistinct, adding to the ambiguity of what we're really seeing. Some skeptics might argue that the blurred areas could point to a larger animal, like a bear, particularly given the size and dark coloration that resembles many depictions of Bigfoot. Yet, enthusiasts might argue that this could very well be a rare glimpse of the elusive creature, particularly because of the eye's unique placement and size. Analyzing the image, the shape and structure suggest a potentially bipedal organism. The curvature in the animal's silhouette could be interpreted as a large, rounded head, consistent with many eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot. The contrast between the dark fur and the lighter background highlights the mystery of the moment and draws viewers' attention to this potential evidence. Moreover, while the image lacks definitive clarity, it serves an essential role in the ongoing discussion about Bigfoot. This uncertainty is often where the excitement lies. The blending of skepticism and belief encourages further investigation into not only this photo, but also the broader phenomenon of cryptozoology. What could be more terrifying than waking up to scary noises in a remote wooded area at night? The following footage was shot in Arkansas. According to the author of the video, he recorded it at about 4 a.m., about 30 miles from any city in northwest Arkansas. Let's take a look and listen carefully. We can hear the screams and howls characteristic of forest creatures. Many reports and folklore related to the Yeti, also known as the Bigfoot, contain descriptions of loud noises such as screams, howls, and other unusual sounds, especially at night. Witnesses often describe these sounds as powerful and creepy, and they are compared to the cries of various animals, although they are usually said to be much louder and more resonant. Some researchers and enthusiasts believe that these vocalizations could serve as a means of communication between creatures, or a way to define territory. Canyons are a dangerous place. You can fall off and fall while walking, or what happened to the author of the footage may happen to you. There is a video sent by a tourist who said he was filming the canyons when he noticed something moving, black and standing up straight, trying to duck and hide. Take a look at these incredible shots, which show that this is a snowman. In the footage, we see a creature coming out of the bushes and trying to hide behind a rock. I think the person who filmed it bothered Bigfoot, and he sensed danger. Looking closer, we see a black, upright creature. Its arms and legs are clearly visible. Its movements are smooth and have logic. Reports and sightings of Bigfoot often occur in remote and mountainous areas, including areas with canyon. These areas feature dense forests, rugged terrain, and natural shelters, which are considered suitable habitats for a creature like Bigfoot, if it exists. Canyons can also provide access to water and food sources, making them attractive to any wildlife. If you're wondering why the video turned out to be so short, he mentioned that his phone ran out of memory and he couldn't shoot any longer. He still regrets it, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and he may never have it again. Next footage from a trout fisherman in Michigan, USA around August of 2014. He stated that he heard wood knocks and what sounded like heavy footsteps in the forest, and went to investigate thinking it was another hunter or fisherman.
It's crazy.
When he saw the creature, he thought it was another person all dressed in black clothing, but then thought to himself, is this guy trying to get shot by hunters? That's when he decided to take out his phone camera and record what he believes is 2 Bigfoots in this video. Now we see trail cam photo that is purported to show Bigfoot in its natural habitat. Right off the bat, this image captures a dark, sizable figure moving through a forested area, and the context is crucial. The dense underbrush and overhanging branches offer the perfect cover for an elusive creature, bolstering the credibility of potential Bigfoot sightings. The figure stands upright and appears to have a robust build, matching numerous eyewitness accounts of Bigfoot. Its posture and gait seem bipedal, which aligns with the characteristics associated with this mysterious creature. The coloration of the subject, a deep black or very dark brown, makes it seem like it's blending in with the shadows of the forest, an important trait for a creature said to thrive in its natural environment. The surrounding foliage plays a significant part in assessing the scale and distance of the figure. The trees and undergrowth offer a sense of proportion, suggesting that this figure is quite large compared to the typical wildlife we might expect, such as deer or smaller mammals. Despite the skepticism, there's no denying the allure of this image. The excitement surrounding such photos fuels ongoing investigations into the existence of Bigfoot, connecting us to a rich tapestry of folklore and adventure. Whether this is a straightforward case of wildlife identification or a glimpse into the existence of an undiscovered species, it continues to ignite curiosity and debate. So, what do you think? Is this a potential sighting for Bigfoot, or simply another case of misidentified wildlife? Share your thoughts below. An ordinary hacker strolled through Greenwater Provincial Park, Saskatchewan, Canada. While making his way along hiking trails, he wandered into a forest thicket. When he heard strange noises, he turned on the camera and recorded it. We see a black figure moving out of the frame. Bigfoot is an important figure in the field of cryptozoology, which studies creatures whose existence has not been confirmed by mainstream science. This area attracts both serious researchers and amateurs. which contributes to a constant interest in the legend. Here's the latest photo of Bigfoot, which was exclusively released on January 8, 2025. The image was shared with the caption, "Bigfoot mid-transition," captured on a trail camera. It appears to show a Sasquatch emerging from a tree, or something similar. The individual analyzing the photo describes it as remarkable, suggesting it might depict a mid-portal transfer, if you will. There is a common belief that Bigfoots and other cryptids are interdimensional beings, capable of moving between different realms. This theory posits that their ability to shift dimensions helps them remain hidden when they are in danger or need to conceal themselves. The photo indeed seems to capture a juvenile Sasquatch coming out of a tree. The uploader also notes that after enhancing the brightness and quality of the image,
this is kind of crazy. Is it juvenile? Is it not? You can actually click on it whenever you're in like editing photos, and it actually pulls the creature out, showing that this is a real creature and it's not just some kind of AI flat creature where it kind of makes it look like a drawing. Filmed in North Carolina.
The creature appears incredibly realistic, featuring dark, sunken eyes, a smaller nose, and a straight mouth. It looks noticeably thinner and smaller than a typical Bigfoot, raising the possibility that it could be a young one. This presents some intriguing evidence, to say the least. Here's another brand new Bigfoot video, and this one is unusually clear in close-up. It was captured by a trail camera in Oklahoma and posted on October 9th, 2025. The group behind the footage, Lois Petronas, shared a detailed account of their experience. They wrote, "Tonight, we went to retrieve our trail cameras we'd placed deep in the forest, but we never expected to find what we found that night. As we made our way in, we came across scattered bones and remains, what looked like victims of some kind of giant predator. As they continued, they reportedly spotted a massive creature, something resembling a Bigfoot, which they believe was responsible for the remains. They described it as enormous, unmistakably Bigfoot-like, and said it even appeared to be carrying a baby. When they finally reached their trail camera and checked the footage, they claimed it had captured what seemed to be the very same creature, a huge, Bigfoot-like figure moving through the darkness." The trail camera was first triggered by what appears to be a deer or some other animal moving through the foreground, but shortly after, it captured something far more unusual, an upright, bipedal, Sasquatch-like figure. The footage was later slowed down to give a clearer view, revealing a creature with a powerful muscular build, features you can actually make out even in the dark video. Its face looks distinctly ape-like, a common trait often described in Bigfoot sightings. It moves cautiously, slightly hunched, staying behind the trees until the clip abruptly ends. A truly wild trail camera capture. Interestingly, Oklahoma has long been considered a Bigfoot hotspot, with countless sightings reported from the region every year. Some of the most compelling alleged encounters have come from this very state. So could this be another one to add to the growing catalog? Perhaps even the clearest evidence yet. The uploader certainly believes so, insisting that what we're seeing here is 100% real footage of a genuine Bigfoot. When she notices something strange in the distance.
¿Qué es eso? No sé si es una persona o qué.
It's a large, bipedal creature
Ay, boludo, qué raro.
that starts sprinting at what seems to be an incredible speed.
Va como muy rápido.
And it's unlike anything the woman has ever seen.
What really gets me, though, is when the guy says, and then it starts sprinting at an incredible speed. It's supposedly something this woman has never seen before. Then again, maybe not. Honestly, the best part was probably the background music. But who knows? She filmed it, thought it was moving quickly, and believes it's some kind of creature. I'd definitely be curious to hear more if anyone has additional info. This clip is brand new. It was released on October the 12th, 2025. A man was walking through a small forest in Idaho on a chilly evening, just as the sun was setting and dusk was settling in. That's when he noticed two upright figures in the distance, one small, one large. After observing the supposed creatures for a few seconds, he pulled out his phone and started recording. He managed to capture a short but surprisingly clear and well-filmed clip. The video was titled, "Bigfoot and Baby Seen in Idaho." In the footage, two figures move slowly across a clearing with distinctly human-like gaits. From what can be seen, they look remarkably lifelike, not like people in costumes. The fur seems to move naturally with their bodies. Every now and then, people exploring deep, isolated forests claim to encounter not just one of these massive, hairy beings, but two, sometimes appearing to move together like a parent and child. These reports are often filled with a mix of awe and fear, as witnesses realize they might be seeing a family group of something not yet proven to exist. The adult Bigfoot is typically described as towering, between 7 and 9 feet tall, covered in dark brown or black hair, moving powerfully yet silently through the trees. The smaller one, said to be around 3 to 5 feet tall, tends to stay close to the adult or imitate its movements, walking upright, though a bit clumsier, sometimes crouching or hiding when noticed, is a description that fits almost perfectly with what's seen in this brand new Idaho footage. But what do you think? Is this real evidence of a mother Bigfoot and her young, or just something a little too good to be true? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Here's even more Bigfoot trail camera evidence, this time in the form of newer photographic material. The photo was taken last winter in Idaho, deep within a remote snow-covered forest. While the image itself is fairly clear, the story behind it is much murkier. It remains a mysterious capture, leaving people across the internet scratching their heads. Take a look for yourself. Obviously, we know this image was captured by a trail camera in Idaho, but that's about all the concrete information available. The photographer or exact circumstances remain unknown. Still, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and this one speaks volumes. The photo shows a dark, heavily muscled, primate-like creature, a Bigfoot-like being covered in snow. Its thick black hair contrasts sharply with a hairless face, revealing distinct facial features. Its eyes are squinted, the nose protrudes, and its mouth is wide open. It's unclear whether its teeth are visible, or if it's holding something in its mouth. Overall, the image is downright chilling. The snow-caked fur adds a sense of realism, suggesting this creature has been out in the harsh winter conditions for some time. It's a strikingly lifelike capture. Idaho itself has a long and rich Bigfoot history in the western United States. Reports of large, hairy, human-like creatures here stretch back decades, intertwining Native American legends, pioneer stories, and modern eyewitness accounts. Tribes like the Shoshone spoke of mountain giants or hairy men living deep in forests and mountains. Powerful, secretive, sometimes dangerous beings that watched from the tree line or stole food and fish. These ancient stories often align eerily well with contemporary Bigfoot descriptions. By the 1950s and 60s, Idaho began seeing a rise in Bigfoot reports, particularly among logging and hunting communities. Remote regions like the Clearwater and Bitterroot Mountains became hotspots. Hunters reported deep, chest-rattling howls echoing through the woods and discovered massive tracks near rivers and game trails. Today, sightings continue to surge, and this new trail camera photo adds yet another compelling piece to the puzzle.
This is exactly why I keep warning people about Appalachia. You don't have to see them because they see you.
I haven't seen the full clip, just the part where he talks about that thing following him from the gifting rock.
They followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But they followed me home, and it is absolutely staring at me right now. Have a look. Okay. Get the other side. Oh, damn. Holy shit. All right. Oh, damn.
But now it looks like this thing is actually on the roof. Yeah, that would definitely freak me out. And that guy at the start, the one giving the warning about Appalachia, he wasn't kidding. That's a real thing. Let me know if any of you have ever been out there. It's a seriously eerie place.
I mentioned this one stump that last summer was a beautiful live tree, hemlock, and it stood so nice and tall. It's been in a bunch of my videos, and one day I came and not only had the tree been like broken off and snapped off, the whole tree had disappeared. It never showed itself again, and I've just been chuckling over that ever since. And I'm back today, and I'm looking in this granddaddy structure, and I think, you know, I mentioned last time, like, where did it go? Well, take a look what's in here. There is about a 1, 2, 3, 3.5 foot length piece of hemlock that wasn't in here before, and it actually looks about the same diameter as that tree. It looks like it's part of the trunk of the hemlock that disappeared. Now this wasn't here. This is a recent bring-in. So once again, it's fascinating that something I was wondering about, talking about, curious about, kind of chuckling over, just of the joy of almost the humor or the amazingness of it. And here is a chunk of what looks to be part of that trunk that disappeared last summer. And that's also when this big rock behind me moved. I did also make mention last time that there was another piece leaning against the stone, which has also been slowly moving around this area. It was leaned up against it or was on the ground, and I said that looks like it may have been from this tree. That piece is also gone, but it was a different piece. It was shorter. This is longer. So is the tree coming back in pieces after a year? Who knows? It's fascinating. It is just awesome. All right, so I'm gonna keep looking around. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday morning. It's a glorious day here today. Really happy to be alive. All right, take care. We'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye. This is also amazing. I'm just a little farther down. Now, I'm just at these beautiful structures. A couple things have changed. This root ball that was originally used in a structure against that tree, I think, in the spring, and it had a cool stone shoved in the roots. Last time I was here, just the other day, was lying on the ground over here, and I don't know if I made a video or I think I may have taken a picture or two.
A very interesting observation. The author demonstrated the sequence of changes in the area of 7 structures. The disappearance of a living hemlock, its subsequent appearance in the form of 2 separate fragments, in the movement of roots, stones, and birch bark. If we consider this from an analytical point of view, we can assume 2 directions of interpretation. The first is natural. Cycles of winds, precipitation, and gravity can change the location of elements in the forest over time, creating the illusion of intelligent beings working. The second is phenomenological. The synchronicity between the author's thoughts, where did the tree disappear to, and the actual changes on the site may indicate some abnormal pattern of perception, perhaps the interaction of the observer and the environment. It is especially noteworthy that the birch bark structure and the gift composition of wood and boxes appear soon after the author's thoughts. Even without unequivocal conclusions, the video perfectly demonstrates how attention and faith can form a unique experience of observing the unknown. These photographs were taken on April 15, 2009, in Ontario, Canada, at 2:39 p.m. To be specific, a woman named Jean Habert was opening her blinds when she spotted a massive creature, approximately half a football field away. She quickly grabbed her husband and a camera to capture images of the mysterious entity. The couple stated that the creature noticed them, but did not react, allowing Mr. Habert to take 2 photographs of it. The Sasquatch then seemingly vanished, only to reappear 15 minutes later, leading to the last photo being taken before it disappeared again, never to be seen again. They estimated the creature's height to be around 10 feet, though this may be an overestimation. The couple never encountered the creature again, but in the following weeks, they reported that the screens on their windows had been torn off, with no known culprit. They eventually sold their cabin in 2010 because they no longer felt safe living there after their experience. Regarding my thoughts on the photos, they are among the more intriguing and lesser discussed Bigfoot images available. They are significantly clearer than many Sasquatch photos, which, to be honest, isn't saying much. The figure definitely appears large and exhibits some classic Bigfoot characteristics, such as a lack of a neck and a substantial amount of hair covering its body. The visible features of its face do seem to resemble those of a primate, though I wouldn't jump to any conclusions based on that alone. Several people who know the Habberts have come forward over the years to vouch for their integrity, expressing skepticism that the couple would fabricate such an encounter. What do you think? Could these photos be genuine? Let me know in the comments below. This is the latest evidence of Bigfoot, recently shared on January 22nd, 2025. Remarkably, it's also highly exclusive, with only a few thousand viewers having seen it so far. Check out the footage captured by a man in Alaska.
Hey, does anybody know what this is? I'm from Alaska. I've never seen anything like this before. So I'm just walking out to let my chickens out and stuff. And then I see these big prints. I know they're not Sasquatch or anything, but check this out, guys. This is me walking. It takes 4 steps. 4 steps to make one of those. Pretty interesting, I don't know.
Where he reveals some unusual tracks in the snow behind his home. Notice the impressive length of some of the strides. Whatever this creature was, it either sprinted or possesses the ability to take such long steps while walking, with distances between strides estimated to be between 7 to 8 feet at times. This suggests that the creature might be bipedal. Examining the prints more closely, they resemble human footprints, but are elongated, and some show unusual toe shapes. When compared to the man's own boot prints, it's evident that these tracks are significantly larger. Alaska, known for its expansive wilderness and remote landscapes, has long been a hub for tales of mysterious creatures, including Bigfoot. The state's rugged terrain, dense forests, and low population density create the perfect backdrop for cryptid folklore. Indigenous groups in Alaska, such as the Tlingit and Athabascan peoples, have shared stories of large, hairy, humanoid beings throughout their traditions. These creatures are sometimes called kushtaka, described as wild men or forest spirits, and are often feared for their ability to lure people into the wilderness. Another entity, the Uri-Yuli, is said to be a giant hairy creature inhabiting the forests of southwestern Alaska. According to legend, these beings were once children who became lost in the woods and transformed into these creatures. These stories predate contemporary Bigfoot sightings and indicate a rich cultural history connected to such beings. With that in mind, could this man's footage provide evidence of one of these mysterious creatures? Or is there a more plausible explanation? The following close-up footage of Bigfoot originates from Virginia. A man is exploring a remote wilderness area when he believes he spots a bear. Excited to capture a video, he takes out his phone and starts recording, only to realize that what he's observing isn't a bear at all.
Bear. Hey, bear.
As he zooms in closer, an unfamiliar creature comes into view, attempting to conceal itself behind a tree. The upper part of its body is visible, revealing a hairy humanoid form with a face resembling a blend of a human and a monkey. Its face is devoid of hair and appears to be a lighter grayish hue, featuring a prominent forehead. In one particular shot, its eyes can be seen peering through the foliage. The creature is distinctly defined, with even the wrinkles on its forehead clearly visible, which adds to the intrigue of the footage. This sighting is particularly compelling because Virginia is known as a Bigfoot hotspot, with numerous notable sightings reported in the area. For instance, there was the Blue Ridge Parkway sighting in western Virginia in 1990, the Peaks of Otter sighting near Bedford in the early 2000s, and the Wise County sighting in 2014. In the Blue Ridge Parkway incident, a group of hunters claimed to have seen a large, hairy creature walking upright in Shenandoah National Park, describing it as over 7 feet tall with broad shoulders and long arms. The creature allegedly emitted a guttural yell before vanishing into the woods. During the peaks of otter sighting, a family camping nearby reported observing a large bipedal creature watching them from the tree line. The creature purportedly followed them at a distance as they returned to their campsite, leaving behind footprints about 15 inches long, which they documented with photographs. Lastly, in the Wise County Bigfoot incident, residents of a rural area reported hearing loud, unidentifiable screams late at night. A farmer claimed to have seen a massive figure moving across his property, describing it as covered in dark fur and approximately 8 feet tall. Large footprints were also found near a creek bed. Given all this information, do you think the footage is genuine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This was shared by Not the 10 on Reddit, and it seems very credible to me. Just take a look at the toes and the left footprint. Everyone in the Reddit comments is raving about this picture. Alright, I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's the story. I had an encounter with a Bigfoot or Yeti while I was attending Grand Valley State University. The campus was surrounded by dense woods that extended for miles into neighboring counties. My friends and I would hike through these woods every day. One day in mid-February, we were trekking through deep ravines and valleys in the woods. It was freezing cold since it was February in Michigan. While hiking, I suddenly stopped in my tracks because I spotted enormous bare footprints deeply imprinted in the snow and ice. It was clear that whatever made them walked on 2 feet, as there were no paw prints in front of the footprints. At this point, we were quite far from campus in another county, so I doubt it was another student playing a prank who would go barefoot in the snow in February deep in the woods. We followed the footprints as far as we could, but eventually lost them. This incident frightened my friends and me, especially since we had previously felt like something was watching us in those woods. One of my friends even spotted something swinging from treetop to treetop. Having grown up in Michigan, I know there are no monkeys around, but this footprint incident made our fears more tangible and convinced us that a Yeti or Bigfoot was lurking in those woods. Afterward, I researched sightings online, and I was astonished to find multiple reports in the county where we were. As I mentioned, this sparked a lot of excitement in the comments, but we also need to address the skeptics. The most common argument is that these are bear footprints, suggesting a double step, where a bear stepped into its own print. However, if it's a bear, where are the claw marks? Some claim the footprints are too small to belong to a Bigfoot, but keep in mind that there are teenagers and small females. Plus, I can't get over the distinct impressions of the toes. I mean, come on, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share your opinions in the comments. Let's take a look at a brand new Bigfoot sighting that was uploaded on January 12th, 2025. The video, which lists Michigan as its location, likely originates from there. It begins with a hiker trekking through a snowy forest, but quickly shifts from picturesque to quite unsettling.
It's definitely something large. Ooh, took off running. Looking right at us. That thing don't look too friendly.
Suddenly, deep growls resonate through the trees, indicating the presence of a large predator. The hiker catches fleeting glimpses of the creature responsible, although it remains largely unseen in the footage. He expresses his shock, saying things like, "It just took off running," and "What the heck is that thing?" His description of it as a thing suggests it's not any ordinary animal. As the video progresses, the growls become more pronounced and seem to draw nearer. These sounds are unlike anything we've encountered before. leading many viewers to speculate that this could indeed be a Bigfoot sighting. Given the eerie noises in his descriptions, this theory has gained considerable traction, with many believing he experienced a very close encounter with a Bigfoot that day, a close call he's fortunate to have survived. Let's check out an alleged Bigfoot photo captured on October 7th, 2025. The image was recently featured by Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. As with many of these sightings, the backstory remains largely under wraps, but it's believed to have been taken by a trail camera. Looks like today's video is full of trail camera evidence. But there's one specific detail that's convinced some investigators this photo might actually be genuine. Rocky Mountain Sasquatch points it out, stating, quote, "Why do Sasquatch lift their heels higher than humans when walking? Perhaps it's an adaptation, allowing them to clear obstacles by pushing brush inward and reducing the chance of tripping. It might also help with efficient movement through deep snow." End quote. Aside from that, the creature's other features are hard to ignore. I mean, just look at the size of its upper body. It's massive, an absolute beast. I've always thought it would be amazing to encounter Bigfoot out in the woods. But if I came face to face with this thing, I'd be sprinting in the opposite direction. Definitely one I wouldn't want to meet. An intriguing photo, to say the least. Speaking of Bigfoot trail camera footage, here's another one to add to the mix. People are always saying they want up-close evidence of Bigfoot, and, well, it looks like they got exactly that with this clip. Maybe a little too up close. Whatever this was, it came right up to the camera, so close that it actually blocks most of the view, making it hard to get a clear look. Still, many researchers are convinced that what was captured here really is a Bigfoot, caught on that trail camera that day. In the footage, we can see long, wiry brown hair and the lower part of two large, sturdy legs. Whatever it is, it definitely appears to be bipedal. Judging by the movement, it looks like something walks past and almost kicks the low-hanging trail camera. The device was clearly set very low, possibly even right on the ground. Of course, there isn't enough solid evidence to say this is 100% a Bigfoot, so the clip remains open for debate. Could it simply be an illusion? Maybe a known animal like a bear? That's certainly possible. It could very well be a brown bear. But many cryptid enthusiasts aren't buying that explanation. They argue the creature's hair looks far too long and it's shaped too distinctly Bigfoot-like to match any typical bear. Honestly, I'm pretty torn on this one, and so are plenty of others. It's been circulating across social media recently, so I wanted to share it with you all and hear your thoughts. Bear, Bigfoot, or something else entirely? Let's keep the discussion going in the comments below. The following recording from the trail camera was made in a wooded area of Michigan, near the city of Dearborn. A local hunter, as usual, was recording animals in a permitted area, while watching the recordings hoping to see various animals. He saw this. In the presented frames, we see a night shot from the forest. The object appears in 3 consecutive photographs, which in itself deserves attention. This eliminates the possibility of a simple glare or camera artifact. We see something massive, dark, moving from left to right between the trees. In the first pictures, the figure appears to be slightly tilted forward, as if it is in motion. The outlines are blurred, but you can see the broad shoulders and narrowing to the waist, which is more like the silhouette of a humanoid creature than an animal. At the same time, the object looks much larger than an ordinary person in dark clothes. In relation to the trees, the height exceeds the average height. In the following frames, the figure has shifted closer to the center and looks more massive. Here we see a clearer silhouette of the back and head, which seems disproportionately large. It is important to note that these images retain the same density and texture of the dark covering of the figure, which suggests the presence of thick wool. This footage comes from the Kilcoy area, where an abandoned collapsed tent was discovered deep in the Queensland bush. Glenn shared the recording, which, in my opinion, may show as many as 3 yahi, He has documented Yahi tracks on multiple occasions along the stretch from Caboosher to Kilcoy on the Sunshine Coast, and notes that many of the tracks in this region appear to have 6 toes.
Oh, well. Yeah, did you see the big tree break over there? It was a good snap.
During a hike, Glenn and his companion stumbled upon the damaged, deserted tent near a creek and small waterhole. It was around this spot that most of the Yahi activity seemed to occur. Interestingly, a heavy log had been placed across the tent, perhaps as a warning or message, "Do not camp here." The video itself is challenging to interpret, but if you look closely at the rock to the left of the old tent, the first section shows a large dark figure near the rock as the camera moves closer, before it slips away into the bush. In the second part, a smaller shape can be seen moving behind the rock. Later, Glenn returned to the scene and took a size comparison photo. He positioned himself next to the same tree where the largest Yahi had reportedly stood before withdrawing into the undergrowth. The comparison suggests the creature was nearly twice Glenn's height. On reviewing the footage further, another detail emerges. To Glenn's left, hidden among the trees, appears a crouching dark Yahi with a grayish face, watching him intently. Its bent arm extending outward can also be made out along the right side of its figure. This trail cam photo, taken in New York, appears to show a Bigfoot-like creature, and it closely resembles another mysterious figure recently caught on camera in the same state. The original shot was snapped on June 30th, 2015, but it went largely unnoticed until the newer image brought it back into the spotlight. The photo was taken deep in a remote forest, where the camera had been set up to monitor local wildlife. What it captured, though, was far stranger than anyone expected. In the frame, we see a small, dark, humanoid figure hunched over. Its head is invisible, but one detail immediately stood out: its massive feet, far larger than expected for its size. Some believe this could be a juvenile Bigfoot, since reports claim the creatures can range in size from towering giants to smaller, younger forms. What makes the case more compelling is that another eerily similar trail cam image surfaced not far from where this one was taken. Though New York isn't usually the first place people associate with Bigfoot sightings, the state has a surprisingly rich history of reports. Its dense forests and rugged wilderness have inspired stories for centuries. Early European settlers in upstate New York spoke of strange tracks, chilling nighttime screams, and fleeting glimpses of towering man-like figures. While many dismiss these tales as folklore, the details echo modern Bigfoot accounts. So, what do these photos really show? Could they be authentic evidence of Bigfoot? Or perhaps something else entirely? Like Dogman? Whatever the explanation, the images remain unsettling and suggest that something otherworldly might be moving through New York's forests. This upcoming image has been creating a buzz online. Encrypted enthusiasts are especially excited about it. The person who shared it made some pretty bold claims, suggesting it might be the clearest Bigfoot footage ever captured on a trail camera. At first glance, it's hard to dispute. The fur detail is crisp, the posture appears natural, and the massive size of the figure is quite intimidating. However, upon closer inspection, particularly along the left edge where the figure meets the background, there's an unusual blur. It's not motion blur, but something digital, which is where the controversy begins. Trail camera images typically don't have edges like that. Everything is usually more seamless, making this look almost unnaturally clean. Some skeptics believe it could be AI generated or digitally altered. Given how easy high-resolution fakes are to produce these days, that's a real possibility. On the other hand, many proponents argue that this is the real deal, a rare, clear Bigfoot photo that researchers have long been waiting for, and they feel critics should stop dismissing it. So, what's your take? Is this groundbreaking evidence or just another expertly crafted fake? And if it's fake, what would be the reason behind it? In the Virginia Lick Fork Bigfoot encounter, hikers exploring the Lick Fork area in Virginia documented compelling audio evidence. capturing prolonged howls that resonated through the woods. In addition to the auditory recordings, they discovered sizable footprints in the vicinity, indicative of a substantial creature. The hikers estimated the creature's stature to exceed 7 feet in height, with an approximate weight ranging between 600 and 700 pounds. Interestingly, they reported that their mobile phones experienced frequent malfunctions whenever the creature was nearby, suggesting a possible electromagnetic interference or other anomalous effects. The analysis of this evidence was conducted by the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, RMSO, which emphasized the creature's impressive size, distinctive movement patterns, and the large footprints observed. This encounter adds to the growing body of evidence supporting the existence of such elusive beings. A newly released footage suggesting Bigfoot activity comes from Oregon and was uploaded on April 19th, 2025. A husband and wife were walking along a familiar trail, one they often frequent, when they encountered a bizarre and inexplicable scene. Here's their footage.
Just randomly in the middle of the forest, in the middle of nowhere, this... I don't even know. Anyway. Okay, my husband is on it. It's crazy. Like, where did this come from? Let me show you around surrounding areas. Hold on. Okay, so we can't figure out where this came from. How crazy. I'm gonna walk up to it. Okay, so here's my Forerunner. There's nothing else weird around here. And this is the craziest thing. And I don't want somebody's lame ass reasoning for this because there honestly isn't one.
Well, there's no trees broken.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Look up the hill. Not even there.
Yeah. There's nothing. That's crazy.
The woman who shared the video, Stephanie Recall, states they had never seen anything like this before. She emphasizes that there was no logical reason for it to be there. The footage shows a massive tree perfectly embedded in the ground. She points out the surrounding area and notes they couldn't find any signs of how it might have fallen or come to rest there. While there are large trees nearby, there's no evidence of any breakage or fall that would explain this position. The video quickly went viral, with many people speculating it was a Bigfoot that placed the log there, given that Bigfoot is believed to have the strength to lift and throw logs with immense force. The log appears to be wedged so tightly into the earth that it would have required an extraordinary amount of force or velocity to set it there. Stephanie later posted a follow-up video, revisiting the site to provide further details and demonstrate that the log couldn't have simply fallen from a tree.
We went somewhere that we go quite a bit, and we saw that big tree in the middle of the road that we've never seen before that had to have been put there with force. Whatever you want to say did it. At this point, no theory is wrong because we just don't know what happened. Except tornadoes, we don't have tornadoes where we live.
She also mentioned that she wouldn't reveal the exact location to protect any potential wildlife or Bigfoot habitat. During her return visit, she examined the area more closely to support her claim that the log hadn't fallen naturally from a tree.
Here is the tree. Yes, there's debris right here because whatever made this forcefully go into the ground, there's going to be debris. So that's debunked. And I'm going to look up because everyone kept saying, look up. Well, the sky's up. There are no trees that are broken. I'm doing a 360, everybody. Turning, turning, turning. Sky, nothing.
Aside from the Bigfoot theory, there are a few alternative explanations. Some believe natural disasters or a lightning strike could have caused the tree or log to break free and land there. However, the perfect placement of the log seems intentional, almost as if someone or something deliberately placed it. The couple continues to visit the site periodically and share updates, but no definitive evidence of Bigfoot has been found so far. If any new developments occur, I'll be sure to keep everyone informed. In this intriguing photo, reportedly taken by a tourist in Michigan, we see what could be one of the most compelling roadside Bigfoot sightings in recent years. Captured in a remote, forested area, the image shows a figure partially concealed along the left edge of the winding path, blending unnaturally well with the tree line and debris. At first glance, one might dismiss it as a shadow or oddly shaped tree trunk, but with closer inspection, the figure reveals distinctly humanoid characteristics. A broad shoulder line, a large head with a conical shape, and an upright posture. The limbs appear long and proportionate to an ape-like physiology, with the right arm subtly angled as though in mid-motion or leaning on the slope. What sets this photo apart is the realism of the creature's stance and the scale relative to the path. Based on the angle and visible surroundings, the figure appears significantly taller than an average human, suggesting a height estimate in the 7 to 8 foot range. Additionally, there are no visible clothing patterns or signs of artificial gear, which often rule out hoaxes or costume-based explanations. The timing and placement of this sighting also line up with the peak periods of Bigfoot activity in the Midwest, particularly in late fall and early spring when food sources shift. Michigan is a known hotspot for Sasquatch reports, especially near forest preserves and trail systems. While Bigfoot is believed to exist in various forms and sizes, this particular image is unlike any others previously seen. Taken in Georgia in 2013, this Bigfoot photo has not been widely circulated. It shows a motion-blurred creature resembling Sasquatch, with gray muscular skin and clearly defined shoulder blades, back muscles, broad shoulders, flexing triceps, and large quads. The motion blur indicates that the creature was moving quickly, likely trying to avoid being seen by humans, but it was too late. This being is also distinct from the typical Bigfoot, due to its grayish color and sparse body hair. Some speculate that it may not be Bigfoot at all, but possibly another cryptid, such as a dogman. Dogmen are said to share a similar muscular build to Bigfoot, though they are slightly smaller and have canine-like heads instead of primate features. While the photo is intriguing, it remains controversial due to the lack of concrete details. Whether it is genuine evidence or just another hoax remains unclear, keeping the truth a mystery for now. On January 13, 2020, in Ontario, Canada, a typical winter day took a chilling turn for a group of forest workers. While on the job, they suddenly heard an eerie sound echoing through the trees. The three men felt a growing sense of unease, sensing something was off. One of them recorded the unsettling sound on his phone and later shared the video online. What could be causing these strange noises? Are they the calls of an animal, or could it be something much more terrifying? Let's take a look at what's said to be a clear photograph of Bigfoot, reportedly taken in Alberta, Canada, back in 2012. While the image has been around for some time, it's remained pretty exclusive. Very few people have actually seen it, so I thought it was worth sharing with you all now. Even though we know when and where the photo was taken, the backstory is still a mystery. We don't know who captured it, whether it was taken by a hiker who stumbled upon the creature, or if a trail camera snapped it. That part remains unclear. But the photo itself is compelling enough to draw serious attention. It shows a large, dark, ape-like figure sitting in a clearing, turned away from the camera. Unfortunately, we don't get a view of its face or the front of its body. One detail that experts often highlight is its arm, the one it appears to be leaning on. The muscular definition is striking. You can see the shoulder muscle clearly, with a flexed tricep and a massive forearm, giving it an unusually powerful look. When analyzing alleged cryptid photos, one of the key things researchers look for is how the fur interacts with the body. Does it lie flush against the muscle? Does it look naturally integrated? In this case, it does. The fur appears tight against the creature's body, showing off its structure and musculature. This is in stark contrast to how a costume typically looks: loose, saggy, or bulky in all the wrong places. Here, there's no clear sign of it being a suit or fake, and as many of you know, I talk about Canada a lot on this channel because the region, especially Alberta, is a hotbed for Bigfoot sightings. Canada has a deep and fascinating Bigfoot history, with roots stretching far back into First Nations folklore. The creature, often referred to as Sasquatch, has been a part of Indigenous oral tradition for centuries, especially among the tribes of British Columbia. Modern encounters began making headlines in the early 1900s, with Western Canada, particularly the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, emerging as a key hotspot. Over the decades, countless reports have described a large, hairy, bipedal humanoid roaming the vast wilderness. Sightings continue to this day, particularly in provinces like British Columbia, Alberta, and Ontario, keeping the legend of the Canadian Sasquatch very much alive. While driving to his next destination, a man noticed something unusual along the way.
Hey, yo, what the fuck is that? No mames. That shit's going off fast. That's not a person at all, bro. That shit disappeared. Wait, what the fuck? Nah, what the fuck is that? That's fucking scary, dog.
In the distance, he saw a small figure running at an incredible speed. The figure had a human-like shape, but it moved far too quickly to be a person. The man immediately uploaded the video online, hoping someone could provide an explanation. While boating, a family spotted an unusual figure along the shore.
On the shore. What's that? What's that right there? Look here.
They zoomed in for a closer look and saw a dark shape emerging from the dense jungle. Knowing they might not be believed without evidence, they quickly grabbed their camera to capture the moment. In August 2019, Doug Teague, a resident of Hickory, North Carolina, filmed what he believes to be Bigfoot while walking his dog. After hearing loud knocking sounds in the distance, he decided to investigate. Doug soon came across large footprints and followed them until he encountered a strange creature.
He's still up here. Or something's up here. He's moving. He's moving, he's moving, he's moving. Daisy, come here. Daisy, come here.
He claimed that as he approached, the creature started throwing stones at him. Later, an anthropologist examined the footprints and estimated they belonged to a creature about 15 feet tall. Experts agreed that the prints seemed to be genuine. A brand new, potentially groundbreaking Bigfoot video dropped on March 5th, 2025. this time from none other than the Discovery Channel, a source known for its credibility. They shared the clip with a provocative caption. Is this the proof we've been waiting for, or just the beginning of something bigger? Here's what they captured.
Right there. Are you seeing that? Holy right there, just zoom in, right there. Are you seeing that?
I saw something. What the I just saw it again.
Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
Okay.
Now that doesn't look like a bear, does it?
No, it's crazy good.
That was upright.
Watch it again.
Yeah, it's walking.
The footage comes from the team behind Expedition Bigfoot, who are no strangers to trekking through wild terrain in search of the elusive creature. Most of the time, their findings are interesting, but inconclusive. This time, though, things felt different. While scanning a tree-covered mountainside with a long-range camera, the crew spotted something unusual. As they zoomed in, the camera briefly captured what appeared to be the head and shoulders of a massive bipedal creature, undeniably Bigfoot-like. The figure was visible for only a moment before it disappeared back into the forest. According to the crew, it was clearly not a bear. Its upright posture and movements were far too human-like, though still distinctly otherworldly. They carefully reviewed the footage and pointed out one key detail: the creature's arm swing. This exaggerated motion is a known trait in reported Bigfoot sightings, often used to help propel their massive bodies forward. It's a movement famously captured in the legendary Patterson-Gimlin film. While humans swing their arms too, the motion in this video appears far more pronounced. Just like the classic descriptions of Sasquatch behavior. The figure itself is dark, hairy, and incredibly broad, with powerful-looking shoulders. Based on the video, the crew believes they may have captured some of the clearest and most compelling Bigfoot evidence yet. But what do you think? Could this new footage finally be the visual proof people have been waiting for? After all, it did come from Discovery Channel, which adds some weight to its credibility. Let me know your thoughts. Are we seeing a myth come to life, or is there more to uncover? While fishing by a lake, a man noticed something unusual in the distance.
Oh, there it is. See it? Yeah, it's on my side of the bank now. See it? I'm gonna zoom in as close as I can. There it is. It's like it's still in the water up to its waist. It knows I'm up here. I think it wants to come up here, but it's not going to while I'm here. So there you have it, guys. Isn't this river beautiful?
A large, dark figure stood along the riverbank, seemingly searching for food. Could this be Bigfoot? Or is it just an ordinary animal? Reddit user KittyBeans246 posted fascinating photos taken by a friend of her grandfather, a rancher in rural Montana. When the pictures were first shown, even local professors were baffled by what they revealed. Years later, KittyBeans246 decided to upload them online to get more perspectives. A family outing in the forest took a terrifying turn when an unsettling sound broke the calm. A low, chilling growl echoed from deep within the woods. As the father tried to keep everyone composed, he managed to capture something eerie on camera. A shadowy figure, concealed in the bushes. Who, or what, did he capture that day? While hiking through the forest, this man noticed something strange in the distance.
Can't see much up through here. I hear the brush popping and stuff. Oh, there he goes.
He observed a large, dark figure moving between the trees. He claims that the footage is entirely unaltered and unedited. The creature's appearance doesn't resemble any known animal, leading some to believe it could be evidence of Bigfoot. However, skeptics argue that it might just be an elaborate hoax. On June 8, 2018, Danny and his wife were hiking through a park, capturing the breathtaking scenery on camera.
Did you hear that? What was it? What's that?
However, when they reviewed the footage later, they discovered something unexpected. A dark figure lurking behind a tree. The figure appeared large and humanoid, and while some suggest it could be a bear, bears are rarely seen in that area. Could this be something entirely different?
Right there. Right fucking there. You see that right there?
This encounter was shared by a channel called Bigfoot King, and it follows a hiker venturing deep into the forest. Right from the start, you can feel his unease, like he's expecting something to be watching him from within the dense trees.
Okay. Where are you? Straight up front. Straight up front. Fucking there. You see that right there?
Then, out in the distance, a massive black figure appears. It's covered in thick, dark fur and has an unmistakably humanoid shape. At first, the hiker thinks it might just be an oddly shaped tree trunk, but that illusion vanishes the moment the creature moves. You can even hear a branch snap as the camera begins to shake. Panic sets in immediately.
You see that right there? Out. Right. Right. Hang on. Hang on.
Clearly rattled, the hiker fumbles to reposition himself, probably wishing he'd brought a better camera to capture what he's seeing. Even with his basic gear, he manages to catch another glimpse of it, its dark fur barely visible through the trees as it tries to conceal its massive frame. The tension is palpable. As a viewer, you can practically feel his heart pounding. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely got my attention. In June 2022, a chilling video surfaced from Russia depicting a stranded motorist who claimed he was being stalked by what he believed to be Bigfoot while stuck by the roadside at night. Uploaded to YouTube by Traversa, the footage shows the driver using a night vision camera, capturing eerie glowing eyes peering at him from the snow-covered forest. The mysterious figure appeared to shadow and intimidate him as he moved through the snowy landscape. The Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization shared the video, suggesting it might offer real evidence of the legendary creature. Others speculated the entity could be a Yeti, Bigfoot, or even a malevolent spirit. Skeptics, however, argued it was more likely a person wearing glasses and crawling on the ground. This bizarre encounter in Russia's remote wilderness only intensified the ongoing debate surrounding Bigfoot and similar cryptid creatures. We captured this footage last September during a 6-day canoe trip with friends on Lake Ashigan, Minnesota. One afternoon, a couple of friends left our campsite to explore a nearby trail and take some scenic photos. While out there, they suddenly heard strange noises coming from the bushes nearby and immediately started recording.
Did he catch anything earlier?
No, he did. He got some hits there.
He's been trolling out there. Should we get... What? What? Oh! Did you hear that? Dude, that's like knock... That's knock... Something's knocking, dude. That's not a woodpecker. What is that? Do you have your camera? I can't see anything. I can't see it.
Look at the tree.
Whoa, oh, whoa.
Be careful, dude.
Dude, is that a bear? Des, is that a bear? Get your camera. Come here. I can't see it. Can you see it?
No.
I don't see anything.
Oh, look at the size of that thing.
Oh, dude, that's not a bear. That's not a bear. That's not a bear.
You can clearly hear 2 loud wood knocks at the beginning of the clip. It's worth noting that these guys are quite familiar with Bigfoot-related phenomena. At first, they assumed the massive, fast-moving creature they spotted was a bear, until they saw it sprinting upright through the forest on 2 legs. The creature's stride is enormous. Just 2 steps seem to cover more than 5 feet. In the slow-motion replay, you can get a better look at the towering black figure moving from left to right. The way it moves is both fascinating and, honestly, a little terrifying. The story behind this particular video and its uploader, Ken's Carpentry, is quite fascinating. Unlike typical channels that focus on the paranormal, Ken's content is usually practical and straightforward, geared toward builders, offering construction tips, techniques, and occasionally footage of local wildlife, like bears. There's nothing supernatural about his usual uploads. But in December 2022, things took an unexpected turn. While out flying his drone in the neighborhood to search for and film bears, Ken captured something strange, something that clearly wasn't a bear. Eager to get a better view, he maneuvered his drone for a closer look.
All right, so I wanted to just show you a road near where I live. It's called Bear Hollow Road. I'm curious if there's any bears down there. It's the first part of December, so typically there you don't see them. But I just thought it'd be fun to take a look. I have a few minutes, so we'll go for a little quick ride and take a look. Well, the bumps are certainly out. You can see the sign over there. It is aptly named Bear Hollow. Let's go down and take a look. Saw a mother bear and two cubs this past spring. I don't know where they would be now. Whoa, what is that? What? I'm going to get out and take a look. What is that? I gotta turn around, I gotta get back there. I'll shut the camera off for a minute. I'm going to use the drone. What the world? What is that? Oh, that's incredible. What? No way. Are you serious? What? What is that? Oh, man. What the world?
One aspect of the video that sparked debate is the audio, specifically, the crunching sounds supposedly made by the creature. The figure captured is undeniably large and moves with the long, deliberate strides often associated with Bigfoot, making it difficult to dismiss outright. That said, if Ken faked the clip, the person in the costume did an excellent job portraying the legendary creature. The next clip originally came from a TikTok user named Carolina1984.
But later, when I got home, I zoomed in and slowed it down and saw this.
Caroline is mostly known for her lighthearted daily vlogs, fun moments, casual updates, and those feel-good clips you'd expect from a typical lifestyle feed. But on this particular day, things took an unexpected and eerie turn. She was out walking her dog, enjoying the peaceful scenery around a calm lake nestled among the trees.
Do you ever get a feeling that something's watching you? The dogs kept looking up into the trees, and at one point I heard something. There's the original video.
She pulled out her phone to capture the moment. Just a slice of serenity to share with her followers. But what she ended up recording was far from peaceful. At first glance, the footage looks totally normal. But once Caroline got home and reviewed it more closely, zooming in, she noticed something chilling. A large, shadowy figure standing in the tree line. That's the moment the internet lost it.
And at one point I heard something. There's the original video. But I didn't see anything at the time. But later, when I got home, I zoomed in and slowed it down and saw this.
Some viewers tried to explain it away as a gorilla or an ape. But here's the catch. There are no native primates in that area. So unless we're talking about a rogue zoo escapee or something that slipped away from a traveling circus, the question remains. What was that thing? It stood tall, cloaked in dark fur, and moved with a distinctly human-like gait. The creature checks all the boxes for a Bigfoot sighting. But here's the thing, and maybe it's just me, but doesn't it look way too massive? Like 20, maybe 30, even 40 feet tall? I don't know. Whether you're a full-on skeptic or a firm believer, this video definitely makes you think, what else might be lurking just beyond the edges of the woods? Here's another clip featuring what appears to be an unusually clear sighting of Bigfoot. While there's limited context, the sharp quality of the footage makes it particularly compelling, hence why it's included here. Reportedly captured by a trail camera set up in a forested area, the video shows a Bigfoot-like figure sitting directly in front of the camera. The creature has long, unkempt hair and facial features reminiscent of a Neanderthal. Its face shows human-like traits, but is distinctly more primate in nature. Notably, its movements also seem very human. The main question is whether this is genuine evidence of Bigfoot, or simply someone in a highly convincing costume. With little background information, it's difficult to confirm or debunk either theory. Still, a Sasquatch was filmed crossing a gravel road in Oregon before vanishing into the woods. Veteran researcher and Bigfoot witness Todd Nice shared an image on Facebook that he received from a source who mentioned the unexpected ways information about Bigfoot can surface. During a conversation with a DMV clerk, she revealed that a friend of hers had captured a photo of Bigfoot near Seaside, Oregon, on September 8, 2014. She later emailed Todd the picture, and although the image lacks clarity, he believes it to be authentic. The creature reportedly crossed the road from right to left, and they managed to take only one photo before it retreated into the forest. Interestingly, this location is just 5 miles away from where Todd himself had a sighting in 1993. In Todd's opinion, there are several aspects of this photo that stand out. The side profile of the creature aligns with his expectations, particularly its forward lean. He also appreciates that the photo was taken at just the right moment to capture Bigfoot, with its rear leg bent back at approximately 75 degrees, a position that humans do not naturally adopt while running or walking. Thinker Thunker has educated the Bigfoot community about the 73-degree shinrise gait of Bigfoot, as seen in the Patterson video, compared to an average human shin rise of only 52%. Todd also finds it noteworthy that the photo was not widely publicized by the individual who took it, indicating that they did not seek fame or financial gain from the encounter. This woman engaged in a casual conversation with a Bigfoot enthusiast, and then offered the photo in the accompanying story. Another appealing element of this image is how seamlessly the creature blends into its surroundings, which explains why they are seldom spotted and quickly vanish when they are, as in this case, to evade a potential human threat. Examining additional photographic evidence of the notorious Bigfoot, highlighted on October 2nd, 2024, we find another image from Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. The sender of the photo, Ron States, shared, "A friend sent this to me from the Hoh River in the Washington Peninsula. I've had several encounters myself, including a sighting of one crossing the road in Ashford, Washington. The photo was initially captured over a year before its release." States mentions that his friend was fishing when he spotted the creature across the river. He claims to have seen this same creature before and has heard it howling and communicating with others of its kind. When it communicated, it spoke in a deep guttural voice that resembled gibberish and couldn't be mimicked by humans. Upon analyzing the image, it appears to depict a bipedal hairy creature with long dark hair on its head. Although slightly out of focus, its face is noticeably hairless and lighter in color, which aligns with patterns seen in other Bigfoot images and videos. Its hunched posture, as it walks, also suggests a primate-like gait. This certainly adds to the collection of convincing Bigfoot photographs. Starting the video with an exciting new Bigfoot sighting. This footage is not only fresh, but also quite exclusive, having been seen by only around 100,000 viewers. The incident took place on January 14th, 2025, when a girl with the username Sunshineable was filming herself in the woods, a common activity for her. However, this time, an unusual creature was lurking in the background.
Oh gosh, it's cold. The camera stand won't stay. Nope, 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 nope.
Emerging from behind the trees was a Bigfoot-like figure that leaned over to observe the woman. Realizing it had been spotted, the creature quickly retreated back into the forest. This prompted the woman to hurriedly grab her phone and escape the area. The creature in question is described as being covered in dark black fur and doesn't appear to be particularly tall. Some viewers speculate that this might be a juvenile Sasquatch, while others doubt its authenticity, suggesting it could be a person in a costume playing a prank. Despite the skepticism, the girl insists that her encounter was genuine, and even captions her video with a TikTok reference, noting that it had to conclude this way for her, given the platform's impending ban on January 19th. Additionally, it's pointed out that this type of post is quite atypical for Sunshineable, as she has never attempted to stage or fabricate anything like this before, leading many to believe the video is legitimate. However, I can't help but think it resembles a costume. What do you all think? Costume or real Bigfoot? Let me know. The video features two Bigfoot researchers who recently discovered a large footprint while searching for evidence. They came across several sizable footprints in the dirt during their outing in mid-September 2024. After making this intriguing find, they utilized their equipment to create a cast of the prints. And here's what they recorded.
Here we go.
It already looks good before you clean it off.
Yeah, I mean, this is a much better print, but it is definitely something going on here. Obviously, this could be a female. It's obviously young. It is not mature. But I mean, this could be a female as far as we know. Whatever it is, it's not full grown. So
you can see that both researchers are thrilled with their discovery, and the cast of the footprint turned out remarkably well. One of the researchers suggests that this might belong to a young female Sasquatch that hasn't fully matured yet. The most notable aspect of the footprint is its enormous big toe, which stands out prominently. It appears much too large to be a human footprint, raising the question of how massive a fully grown Bigfoot's print could be. The other researcher notes that Sasquatch feet are structurally different from human feet in terms of joints and anatomy, making this print distinct.
I'm beginning to wonder if there's something there that we don't understand as far as, joints or, appendage, or I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, I think they're built a little different than us as far as joints and anatomy goes.
Can of compressed air would have been nice too.
Oh yeah.
But that is a fantastic footprint.
It is.
Great
find by Taylor.
Yep.
Golly, that's a great find.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah.
So now we can do that right there. Let everybody see.
I mean, even for juvenile female standards for Bigfoot, that's still a big foot compared to humans.
Yep. Yep.
Such discoveries have been occurring for quite some time. Here are a few of the most notable ones. Jerry Crew casts, 1958. Location, Bluff Creek, California. Construction worker Jerry Crew found large human-like footprints near his job site in the secluded woods of Northern California. He created plaster casts of the prints, which measured around 16 inches in length. Bosberg footprint, 1969. Location, Bosberg, Washington. a set of 1.89 footprints was discovered, including a uniquely deformed foot that exhibited abnormalities. The prints were highly detailed, featuring dermal ridges and signs of wear. Researchers like Grover Krantz and Dr. Jeff Meldrum studied these tracks, arguing that their intricate detail and anatomical precision made them difficult to fake. London Tracks, 1982. Location: London, Oregon. A series of footprints were found by forestry workers and later examined by Bigfoot researcher Peter Byrne. The prints were large and displayed weight distribution, consistent with a heavy bipedal creature. And this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Bigfoot footprint evidence. If you're interested in learning more about other infamous Bigfoot footprint discoveries, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Around 10 p.m., one evening, a trail camera in West Virginia recorded a disturbing image of a towering figure, estimated to be between 7.5 and 8 feet tall, holding what looks like a dead coyote by its throat. Most strikingly, the entity is staring directly at the camera, seemingly aware of its infrared sensor's subtle red blink, something wildlife typically cannot perceive. A Bigfoot investigator speculated that this could indicate Sasquatch activity, but several factors are unusual. The figure appears to possess night vision, exhibits aggressive predatory behavior with the coyote, and seems to intentionally acknowledge the camera, traits not commonly associated with Sasquatch. The location is private property accessible only to the owner and his father, and the figure's extraordinary height, combined with the absence of large predators in the area, complicates conventional explanations. The image has been digitally enhanced for clarity and lightened, yet even the original capture reveals the clear outline of an unnaturally tall, bipedal figure displaying predatory behavior. While I can't definitively say what this is, the creature's characteristics, its intelligence, aggressive demeanor, and apparent comfort with technology, suggest it might represent something more calculated than a typical Bigfoot. This entity seems to be deliberately showcasing the coyote and making direct eye contact with the camera, implying it wants to be seen. Perhaps it's marking its territory or sending a message. This behavioral pattern aligns more closely with accounts of intelligent supernatural predators than with known wildlife or standard Bigfoot encounters. That said, the property owner has set up additional cameras and reported hearing unsettling sounds at night, but hasn't captured anything else on film. If he does, I'll be sure to update you all. In the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation. It's quite bizarre. The following footage was taken on a trail cam by a local hunter from Michigan. The thermal camera managed to capture the legendary Bigfoot creature. Let's take a look. In the footage, we can see a two-legged creature slowly making its way through a dense forest. After taking a closer look, we will be able to examine this creature. Long legs and long arms. Its fur is perfect for this time of year. It is believed that in the winter forest, the snowman adapts to the cold by using his thick fur coat, which provides protection from low temperatures. It can often be seen in remote areas where the ground is covered with snow, which makes it easier to detect large footprints. It is believed that this creature is a master of stealth, moving silently through the snow in search of food, such as roots, berries, and small animals. Its elusive nature and winter silence create an atmosphere of mystery surrounding its existence, as eyewitnesses report strange sounds and movements, which arouses constant interest and contributes to the investigation. Imagine you are an ordinary farm worker. You are doing your duties on an ordinary working day. As always, when suddenly you notice a humanoid figure in the field. So that's it. Mike found himself in this situation. Let's take a look at this video.
And it would take us hours to cross from way over there.
At first glance, it may seem that this is an ordinary person, but here are a few points on the basis of which we will doubt that this is an ordinary person. There is no road there. He walked faster and smoother than a person could walk across an uneven field. This massive creature may have wandered into its habitat, being about 1.5 miles away from Mike. This creature appears to be very massive. Wheat fields are an important food source, especially during harvest, when grains are plentiful. A Bigfoot, being a large creature, is likely to look for places where there is a lot of food, or there may be another reason for the appearance. The presence of people in agricultural areas may attract a Bigfoot out of curiosity. If people are harvesting crops or working in the field, Bigfoot can watch them from afar. Pennsylvania is known for its beautiful forests and diverse landscapes. A significant part of the Appalachian Mountains is located in the state, and forests cover about 60% of its territory. Sightings of Bigfoot in the Appalachian Mountains have been reported relatively frequently over the years, although the exact frequency may vary depending on the specific area and time period. The Appalachian region, with its dense forests and remote locations, provides an ideal environment for observing cryptids. The following footage was recorded in a remote part of Pennsylvania by a local resident, who nearby heard strange noises in the woods. Grabbing a camera, he ran and filmed something creepy.
Yeah.
Footage shows Bigfoot, the legendary cryptid. The footage clearly shows with what confidence he moves through the forest. The author of the video takes his breath away from the fact that he managed to capture. A month later, a YouTube user returns to the forest to record more evidence of the presence of this Bigfoot-like creature and finds several interesting footprints in the mud on which protruding toes are clearly visible. The photo shows a mysterious footprint in a muddy area, which is often associated with the appearance of a snowman. Many enthusiasts assume that such prints may belong to an elusive creature, given their size and shape. The environment, consisting of mud and water, adds intrigue, suggesting a possible recent disturbance. Ultimately, the authenticity of the print and its attribution to Bigfoot is still widely debated, with opinions ranging from authentic evidence to hoaxes. However, this remains part of the ongoing cryptid craze. On March 5th, 2025, a mysterious and striking photograph appeared from the forests of Colorado. It purportedly shows the legendary Sasquatch. The image was posted by SquatchWatch1 on Instagram, who explained, "Two couples were hiking a small mountain trail in Colorado, a route they often took. But this time, as they ascended, they heard heavy, rapid footsteps ahead of them. Along with these loud footsteps, they also heard a low, gibberish-like sound, similar to what Bigfoot is said to make to communicate." Numerous sightings and reports support these sounds. The noise grew nearer until the creature allegedly walked past the hikers without hesitation, just yards away. At that moment, one of the hikers quickly took out their phone and captured this rare photo. It's notably clear and one of the best images of Bigfoot we've seen. Experts highlight the creature's notably long arms, which extend past its knees, and its hunched posture, commonly associated with Bigfoot reports. Upon closer inspection, its face appears hairless with skin resembling that of a human. Supporting the credibility of this sighting is Colorado's rich Bigfoot folklore. The state's dense forests, rugged mountains, and remote wilderness have been the backdrop of countless stories and alleged encounters for decades. Indigenous tribes such as the Ute, Arapaho, and Cheyenne have long spoken of large, hairy, man-like beings inhabiting the mountains. The Ute referred to them as Sasquatch, or forest people, describing them as powerful and elusive entities. During the 19th and 20th centuries, as settlers arrived during the gold rush and homesteading periods, reports emerged of strange howls and enormous footprints near mining camps. Notable hotspots for Bigfoot sightings include Pike National Forest, the San Juan Mountains, and Bailey, Colorado. So, Does this new photograph add to Colorado's long-standing Bigfoot lore? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Here's a quite rare and exclusive Sasquatch video. It first appeared in 2023, but has only recently come to light, with few people having seen it. According to reports, a man was hiking when this extraordinarily tall, humanoid creature emerged. He was walking up a sloped dirt trail when he heard some commotion behind him, like something massive moving through the brush, and indeed it was. What makes this footage so convincing to many is the incredible size of the creature. Although the video is somewhat blurry, when zoomed in and slowed down, it gives a clear impression of its stature. The being appears to be between 9 and 10 feet tall, with very long strides thanks to its extended legs. It moves effortlessly through the underbrush. When the footage is paused, you can make out its shape: a classic domed head, broad shoulders, and a muscular build. Because of its height, it seems slightly leaner than the typical Bigfoot. Additionally, its face appears lighter in shade than its body, and its eyes emit a glow. Fortunately, the man only managed to film the creature for a few seconds before fleeing, escaping the encounter. The uploader did not specify the location, likely to protect the creature's habitat. Some viewers, however, have questioned the footage, arguing that the creature's height seems too tall, suggesting it might be a different kind of being, a hoax, or something else entirely. Nonetheless, reports of Bigfoot's height vary widely depending on the source. Usually it's said to be between 6 and 10 feet tall, with some sightings claiming heights of 12 to 15 feet. In this case, the height is within the known range, so it's not necessarily too tall. What do you think? Are genuine Bigfoot sightings too incredible to believe? In this fascinating and somewhat unsettling video, we observe what appears to be a massive, dark figure standing by the edge of a river, seemingly fixated on the person holding the camera. The creature's size and presence are immediately striking. It stands motionless for a moment, creating a tense standoff as it gazes across the water directly toward the cameraman. The person filming was clearly terrified and caught off guard, having no idea what kind of creature he was witnessing. In his own words, it was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. That sense of panic is palpable, adding to the authenticity of the moment. The isolated wooded riverside location is the kind of remote area often associated with unexplained sightings, especially those involving Sasquatch or other cryptid beings. The dense background foliage and natural barriers make it highly unlikely this was a person in a costume or an easily explained animal. Could this be a true encounter with the legendary Bigfoot, or is it something else entirely? We'll let you be the judge. Watch the footage closely again, analyze the movement, the body shape, and the behavior, and decide for yourself. Whatever it is, this sighting is definitely one that will leave you questioning what really exists in the hidden corners of the wilderness. While at Shaver Lake in California, a man noticed a lot of footprints on the ground in the depths of the bay that he saw. Also, while looking through photos from fishing, he noticed a black figure behind him, probably a Bigfoot. In this remarkable image, we appear to witness a rare sighting of what could be a female Bigfoot carrying an infant. The figure blends into the forest background with impressive natural camouflage. Upon closer inspection, the shape of the head, broad shoulders, and dark, uniform body hair suggest a large primate-like creature, commonly described in alleged Bigfoot sightings. Most striking is the smaller form clinging to the front or shoulder area, consistent with the behavior of primate mothers who carry their young. This infant-like shape appears lighter in tone, possibly due to natural lighting or a difference in fur development, and suggests a protective maternal posture. The dense vegetation adds natural distortion, but the proportions and posture align with descriptions from eyewitness reports. If authentic, this could be one of the most compelling images to support the theory of family structure within the Sasquatch species. Further enhancement and analysis are highly warranted. Let's proceed to examine a controversial Bigfoot sighting. Despite its controversy, this footage is among the closest and clearest Sasquatch videos ever recorded. Originally uploaded in 2022, the clip was shared by a TikTok user who claims to have found Bigfoot. He explains, "We found him. I've hiked thousands of times and have only seen his massive footprints once up in Bailey. As I mentioned earlier, Bailey, Colorado, is known as a hotspot for Bigfoot sightings, and this footage is believed to originate there." The video is remarkably close up and high definition, providing an exceptionally clear view of a Bigfoot. The creature has dark fur, a primal-looking face, human-like eyes, and is quite tall, partially hidden behind a tree. Viewers are debating whether the footage is genuine or not. One commenter insists, "That's a real Bigfoot. I know because I've seen one face-to-face in the wilderness. I almost died." Another suggests it's computer-generated, while another remarks, "He seems pretty intelligent if you ask me." Someone else adds, "I don't care if this is real or fake. At least it's a clear shot for once." Honestly, they have a point. Usually Bigfoot sightings captured on camera are blurry, distant, or a mix of both. This footage is as good as it gets, whether real or fake. While hiking, a man noticed movement in the branches and started filming. As he zoomed in, he thought he glimpsed a small ape-like figure nestled in the tree. The shape was difficult to distinguish, blurred by distance and leaves, but its size and posture made him wonder if he had stumbled upon a young Bigfoot attempting to stay concealed.
You see what I'm seeing? I see you, buddy. It's okay. Wow, you can see the white of his eyes in the corner. I think I figured the secret out a little bit.
This trail cam photo, taken in New York, appears to show a Bigfoot-like creature, and it closely resembles another mysterious figure recently caught on camera in the same state. The original shot was snapped on June 30th, 2015, but it went largely unnoticed until the newer image brought it back into the spotlight. The photo was taken deep in a remote forest, where the camera had been set up to monitor local wildlife. What it captured, though, was far stranger than anyone expected. In the frame, we see a small, dark, humanoid figure hunched over. Its head is invisible, but one detail immediately stood out: its massive feet, far larger than expected for its size. Some believe this could be a juvenile Bigfoot, since reports claim the creatures can range in size from towering giants to smaller, younger forms. What makes the case more compelling is that another eerily similar trail cam image surfaced not far from where this one was taken. Though New York isn't usually the first place people associate with Bigfoot sightings, the state has a surprisingly rich history of reports. Its dense forests and rugged wilderness have inspired stories for centuries. Early European settlers in upstate New York spoke of strange tracks, chilling nighttime screams, and fleeting glimpses of towering man-like figures. While many dismiss these tales as folklore, the details echo modern Bigfoot accounts. So, what do these photos really show? Could they be authentic evidence of Bigfoot? Or perhaps something else entirely? Like Dogman? Whatever the explanation, the images remain unsettling and suggest that something otherworldly might be moving through New York's forests. While hiking through Utah's Packing Canyon, a man was enjoying the quiet trails and towering trees when his camera captured something unusual, something that shouldn't have been there. As he scanned the forest, a massive dark figure moved swiftly between the trees. Its motion resembled that of a gorilla, except there are no gorillas in Utah. Cautiously he followed. When he zoomed in, the creature seemed to notice, then vanished into the woods, locals have long whispered about Bigfoot. Maybe this time, the stories are true. Now let's take a look at another Bigfoot sighting, but this time, it's of the skunk ape, a cryptid notorious in the southern US, especially Florida, often called Florida's version of Bigfoot. This particular encounter comes from the Everglades. While exploring the area, a man noticed something unusual, pulled out his camera, and recorded a video that he'd later uploaded in search of answers. The video shows what appears to be a giant bipedal figure moving through an open field. It's dark in color and seems to have something on its back, perhaps even a walking stick. Skeptics quickly suggested it's just a hiker, a person carrying a large backpack and using a walking stick. That's a reasonable explanation, especially since the footage is taken from a distance, making it hard to identify the figure with certainty. Still, even if this sighting turns out to be a misidentified human, the skunk ape itself remains a fascinating mystery. Often described as a smaller, scruffier cousin of Bigfoot, it's said to stand 5 to 7 feet tall, covered in dark reddish-brown hair, and notorious for its foul odor, hence the name. Legends of large, wild men in Florida swamps go back centuries, with Native American tribes sharing stories of these elusive creatures. Sightings increased in the 20th century, with hunters, fishermen, and locals reporting fast-moving, ape-like beings darting through sawgrass and mangroves. So, is this video capturing the real skunk ape, or just a distant backpacker? I'll leave that for you to decide in the comments. In this Sasquatch clip, a hunter in Canada claims to have captured Bigfoot on camera. At first glance, you can definitely see a creature moving through the woods, but right away, it's clear that it's walking more like a human. Bigfoots don't move like that. They don't take those delicate, cautious steps. Early comments show a lot of skepticism. One person joked that the creature must have gotten a new pair of rubber boots for Christmas, while another pointed out that a real Bigfoot would have sensed the hunter, and there's no way he would have caught it on camera. Honestly, I agree. This seems like much ado about nothing. This next clip hails from India, where we see a man casually strolling through the jungle, singing and minding his own business. Suddenly, he hears something strange and quickly pulls out his camera. What he captures next is the stuff of nightmares. It's truly bizarre. We've all heard of Bigfoot in North America and the Yeti in the Himalayas, but a creature like this in an Indian rainforest, that's unheard of. Its size alone is intimidating, but the creepiest moment comes when it spots the camera and tries to duck behind a tree. To me, that suggests it's smarter than we think. Is it just someone in a suit? Maybe, but I have to admit, I'm intrigued. What do you think? This next clip starts with a group of horse riders who set out to document one of their outings. With cameras rolling, they aim to capture the scenic beauty of the wilderness and the joy of riding together. As they navigated the forest trails, they laughed, chatted, and enjoyed the serene environment, completely unaware of what might be lurking in the shadows. Back home, they gathered to review the footage and relive the day's adventures. But as they played back the video, they spotted something astonishing, hidden deep within the dense woods. Just as the last horse passed by, a dark, imposing figure became visible. This wasn't just any silhouette. Its broad shoulders and thick dark fur made it stand out. The creature seemed to be watching the riders from its concealed spot, almost as if it were curious about the group. The footage was undeniable. As they huddled around the screen, the room buzzed with a mix of awe and disbelief. The immediate thought that came to everyone's mind was the legendary Bigfoot. The clip has since sparked a flurry of speculation and analysis. What do you think about this footage? The following video is taken from Cryptic World. In the video, the author, going out for a smoke on his working day, decided to take pictures of the beauty of nature when he suddenly heard strange noises, and then something happened to him. Let's take a look.
Wow, that is so far away though. Guys, look at this. Oh my God. Wow. This thing is just standing out in the open, guys. Just standing right there looking at me this whole time.
Looks like its head's swaying. Wow, guys, this is awesome. I knew I heard something. And that's far away.
In the video, we can see a figure in the undergrowth that closely resembles a young member of the Bigfoot family. We can clearly see that the creature stands on two legs and has a conical head, but the size of this creature is confusing. Its shape is unmistakably humanoid, but noticeably bulky. She has no visible signs of clothing, and her entire figure is dark, in accordance with the descriptions of the Bigfoot, who has hair or fur of the same color. When zoomed in, and yes, we zoomed in, the head is positioned low in relation to the shoulders, and the arms appear long in relation to the torso. It doesn't match the physique of an ordinary person. There is also a slight forward tilt in the pose, which is often mentioned by eyewitnesses of the movement of the Bigfoot, almost like a natural instinct developed when moving in dense thickets. One of the most exciting and disturbing aspects of Bigfoot encounters is not only the visual observations, but also the sounds. Eyewitnesses across North America and beyond report hearing deep, resonant sounds echoing through forests and mountains. A man was walking through the woods near his house on a weekend evening when he suddenly heard terrifying noises and decided to make a video. Let's take a look. In the video, we hear scary guttural and low sounds, presumably made by a creature larger than a human. One could say that these are sounds related to something mechanical, but no, there is nothing similar nearby that could make such a sound. These sounds resemble the sound of a large ship. Many Bigfoot audio recordings contain long, prolonged howls or roars that reverberate through the trees like a distant siren in the fog. These low frequencies are felt rather than heard. They seem to vibrate in your chest. Ships use fog horns to signal their presence in conditions of poor visibility, and the Bigfoot seems to declare itself in a similar, maybe to warn, or maybe to contact. Strangely enough, dense forests and deep oceans aren't all that different from each other. Both are vast, echoing, and largely unexplored. So perhaps it makes sense to assume that something as mysterious as Bigfoot can speak in tones that remind us of what lurks in the earth. This sighting dates back to 1997 in Delaware. The witness, a man named Frank C., was driving with his family through Gravel Hill along Route 404. They had just wrapped up a weekend of camping and fishing and were heading home. It was nighttime. The kids were asleep in the back seat, and Frank and his wife were casually chatting about whether to stop at the next roadside diner. Then, it happened. Out of the darkness, a figure appeared at the edge of the road. Both Frank and his wife saw it clearly. A tall, hairy creature, easily standing 7 to 7.5 feet tall, watching the passing cars from the shadows. His wife immediately shouted for him to stop the car. She had a camera in her bag and instinctively reached for it. In the first picture, we see the silhouette of a massive bipedal creature covered with thick, brownish fur. The lighting is weak, typical for shooting in conditions of poor visibility. It was probably either night or dusk. The creature is depicted from the back, with well-defined shoulders, long arms, and surprisingly proportioned legs. What's most remarkable about the image isn't just the size or clarity of the creature, it's what the camera revealed once the photo was developed. Clinging to the back of the adult figure were two smaller shapes, two infants. If you look closely, you can make out tiny hands, arms, legs, and heads nestled into the thick fur on the adult's back. It's one of the most astonishing details I've ever seen in any alleged Sasquatch photo. This image is an exclusive. It has never been publicly released, until now, and I'm honored to be able to share it with all of you. The second picture was taken from a closer distance, and although the back is shown again, you can see the structure of the coat. It is grayish, with admixtures of reddish-brown, uneven, and looks quite natural. The frame shows that the creature is standing motionless, and in the background, there is dense vegetation, confirming the shooting in a forest environment. Please note, there are no visible signs of forgery in both photos, such as zippers, suit seams, or distorted proportions, which are often found in fake videos. In any case, this is either one of the most compelling photos of Bigfoot taken in that era, or an example of a masterful hoax. This unsettling photo was allegedly taken in Kentucky in the early 2000s. A man was hiking alone through the forest on a cold autumn day, following a trail flanked by steep hills on both sides. At one point, he heard thunderous footsteps echoing from the right side, just beyond the slope. Moments later, a massive creature appeared. The figure was enormous, easily standing at 10 feet tall. Despite the photo being from the early 2000s, the camera quality isn't too bad, and we can make out most of the creature's body, apart from the areas partially hidden by trees. Its feet are enormous, its legs thick and powerful, and its overall frame is unbelievably broad. Just imagine encountering something like this in the wilderness. It likely has incredible speed and strength beyond our comprehension. What's especially strange is its proportions. The head appears oddly small compared to its hulking body and wide shoulders, an unusual look for a Bigfoot. Experts generally estimate Bigfoot's height to fall between 7 and 9 feet, weighing between 600 and 900 pounds, with footprints measuring 15 to 24 inches or more. So while this being seems unusually large, there are claims that some Bigfoot-type creatures can reach such sizes. Could this really be a Bigfoot, or is it something else entirely? Perhaps a different cryptid or an unknown giant that inhabits only this specific forest? While at home, the user heard strange noises near his house. Going outside with his phone, he managed to capture something terrifying. Let's take a look.
Are you joking right now? I could be in the house. Peoples.
In this intriguing still from the backyard video, we are presented with what appears to be a large, humanoid figure partially obscured by natural foliage. This frame, taken from the midpoint of the video, offers a fleeting yet captivating glimpse at a creature that closely matches popular descriptions of Bigfoot. Tall stature, broad shoulders, and dark, shaggy hair covering most of the visible body. The subject stands upright, with a slightly forward-leaning posture, suggestive of a heavy, muscular upper body. The arm position appears relaxed, but extended, possibly mid-stride. The legs are partially hidden by grass or brush, though their stance hints at forward motion. Judging by nearby known objects, trees, a shed in the background, and a chain-link fence, the figure seems significantly taller than an average human, likely over 7 feet. The width of the torso is also disproportionate to a normal person, lending credence to the idea that this may not be a hoax or someone in a suit. One of the most compelling details is the uniform, matty finish coat of dark brown or black hair. There are no signs of fabric seams, bagginess, or other common giveaways of a costume. Light reflecting off the fur is natural and consistent with the ambient lighting, which suggests realism rather than artificial texture. While this is a still, subtle motion blur, at the arm and leg edges suggests the figure was moving quickly. This dynamic quality is common in supposed Bigfoot footage, often interpreted as the creature retreating from human presence. Background elements, rustling trees, slightly fogged lens, add to the authenticity and caught-in-the-moment atmosphere. The arm length and upper leg to torso ratio are worth noting. The arms appear longer than those of a human, reaching mid-thigh, which aligns with eyewitness reports. The neck seems absent or sunken, a trait often cited in cryptid lore. One of the hunters captured footage of a strange creature resembling a giant monkey. According to the hunter, this was unlike anything he'd ever seen before. Experts who analyzed the video claimed it appeared to be authentic. Interestingly, yet another river Bigfoot video has recently surfaced. This one reportedly filmed along the New Jersey River on May 19, 2025. A man was out hiking alone, simply enjoying some time in nature, when he noticed a dark, humanoid figure partially hidden behind a tree, silently watching him. Startled, he quickly began recording, zooming in and trying to show viewers exactly what he was seeing.
It's right there above my finger, behind the tree. I can see it, barely. Look! Look! Holy shit! Holy shit! Right there, look! It's going up the hill. What is that? That thing's making some time.
The creature takes off, sprinting away at high speed. The man, clearly panicked, keeps filming as it climbs up a steep hill. That's when its full size becomes apparent. It appears noticeably larger than a human. Surprisingly, the video is actually quite decent. We get a clear view of the creature's entire body, from head to toe. However, because it was shot from a distance, the finer details are hard to make out, and the footage is a bit blurry. Still, it's some of the better footage we've seen.
Look, there it is. It's going to the right now. Center screen. Right in there. Watch for the movement with the light. See the light behind it from the sun coming up? See it?
Apparently, the man often hikes in areas like this and had never encountered anything out of the ordinary until this day, which changed everything. Much like Colorado, New Jersey has its own deep-rooted Bigfoot lore. Despite being one of the most densely populated states in the country, New Jersey's Pine Barrens, Appalachian foothills, and remote western regions have long been linked to sightings of mysterious hairy creatures roaming the woods. Back in the early 1970s, reports began emerging from Sussex County in the state's northwestern corner. Witnesses claimed to have seen a large bipedal hairy creature moving through the dense forests of Stokes State Forest in the Kittatinny Mountains. Locals also described hearing eerie howls, wood-knocking sounds, and even discovered massive footprints. While the Pine Barrens are best known as the home of the Jersey Devil, there have also been numerous sightings of Bigfoot-like creatures. These were often described as dark, hairy figures standing around 8 feet tall, frequently mistaken for bears until they were seen walking upright. In the late 1980s, a group of hikers near Wharton State Forest reported spotting a tall, human-like creature silently observing them from a distance before it slipped away into the pines. As always, I'll leave it to you, the viewers, to decide, is it real or just another legend?